Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome back to another live stream on the channel. It has certainly been a long time, that is for sure. But I said after the Liverpool review, well, during the Liverpool review, I wanted to bring these back for sure and get you back involved as well. So, in this live stream, we'll be discussing how do you think the 2019-2020 season went for Newcastle United? A lot of people say it went better than expected. Some fans are still disappointed because we should be aiming to go higher up the league for sure. But it'll be interesting to see what your comments will be as always. And of course, you'll be welcome to pop into the live stream as always for sure. So yeah, I'll give you my opinion, what I think on about the 2019-2020 season. It has gone a lot better than what I expected it to be for sure. I would say at the beginning when we went from Rafa Benitez to Steve Bruce, I was feeling worried at first because I thought we could have get sucked right into a relegation battle. But yeah, that is for sure. But we didn't avoid relegation. We finished 13th in the league. That is for sure. So yeah, but so we'll read some comments out. That is for sure because some are already popping up in the live chat. That is for sure. Retro NUFC says, all right, how you doing, Jay, man? Feel free to subscribe to him as well. Retro NUFC. Feel free to check him out. He does Newcastle content as well. That is for sure. Retro NUFC says, very long time. But yeah, it was. I think the last live stream I did was something. I think it was about when the season coming back. How was everyone feeling about the season coming back? Or actually, no, hold on. It was actually how many points you think we could pick up in the last games in the Premier League season for sure. So, yeah. Liam NUS says this is not a season to be proud of, regardless who's the manager. Well, unfortunately, it's how our ownership sees that's their ambition for this football club. Unfortunately, aiming for mid-table, having relegation battles. That's all I'm going to say about for sure because that's how they say this. Unfortunately, Liam Hunter says hello, Pete. I think in my opinion, it's been okay. Yeah, it definitely has gone a lot better than what I expected it to be. That's for sure. So yeah, because a lot of fans were worried that it was going to be a drastically very bad season, but it wasn't for sure. So Andrew NUFC says, evening Peter mate, how you doing, man? Hope you're keeping well. Geordie says nothing else matters apart from this takeover because me Metallica shirt. With the takeover, God knows what's happening with it now. Unfortunately, I think I've lost hope with it now. I've just come to the point it's just going to be the same for next season. That is for sure. So yeah. Name UFC says, if under Mike Ashley next season, we are going down next season, and this time we will be another Leeds United. I wouldn't like to say we'll be another Leeds United. I mean, like, it all depends who brings into the club and depends who goes, but we've got to chuck some of this wood out of the club for sure and definitely keep our better players. That's for sure. So, well, Lee Hunter said 9 points. Yeah, well, I think one like, is it 35 when the season restarted? That is for sure. So, yeah. So I think you were right there, were you? Andrew NUFC says I said 9-10 points as well, Liam, mate. But yeah, that's how it was. Liam says, to be honest, I'm classed as a mid-table team. Well, that's how I see under this ownership for sure. That's the thing. Because I've said, doesn't matter if I have a top manager in or a manager who is tactically inept, we will always be battling around mid-table, having relegation battles. That is for sure. Lee Hunter says, yep, since football started, yes. I think it was. I think 5 points were restarted on. Liam Hunter says, by the way, who has the new kit? I haven't got it yet. I'm still unsure about it, that is for sure. It does look a lot better than this season's, that's for sure. This season's kit was bollocks, I thought. Overall, man. Jesus Christ. It does look a lot better, but it does look a bit of a carbon copy of the 2017-2018 kit, that is for sure. So, yeah, the only difference is the sleeves are a lot more black and the Puma logo looks more silver, I would say for sure. So, But no, in terms of kit, I haven't got it yet, but I'm not sure about getting it just yet, that's for sure. So, yeah. Retro NUFC says, Ari, Andrew NUFC. So, he's just said hello to Andrew there. So, oh, look at it. It says, oi, mate. Ari, bro, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well, man. Liam NUFC, I see us as another Sunderland team, just aims for 17th above as a bonus. That's how you could look at it, but again, it's all just down to the ownership, that is for sure. Andrew NUFC says, we need to make sure we keep our top players this summer. If Ashley is still our owner, then I'm worried we'll lose one or two of them. Hopefully not, that will happen. If Bruce is still out, yeah, I think he will definitely. Yes. Liam NUFC says St. Maximum will be going to Wolves if Ashley stays. Well, I've heard now about that. He's going to Wolves so far. That is for sure. Jody says, apparently Store Fitness have the shirt still at the price of £54.90, which is a cracking price compared to Sports Direct. Yeah, well, true story, actually. The last two away kits I've bought, this season's green one and last season's blue and red, I actually got them both from Store Fitness, and that's how much I paid the price for them, actually. So, yeah, I did get those a bit cheaper, that is for sure. So, yeah. So that's where I've been getting me recent two tops from lately, because I has been selling a bit cheaper, where others are still charging about 65 quid either at Sports Direct or the club shop. That is for sure, possibly any other sports shop, but yeah, I've known Store Fitness definitely do charge it a bit more cheaper. That is for sure. Excuse me. Anyway, if you want to pop in the live stream, you're welcome as always. The link is actually down in the description, but of course I can't always put it in the comments section as well, for sure. Just read a couple more comments in. So he says, Andrew NUFC says, Start Fitness is decent. Yeah, I would say it is for sure. I'd definitely like Start Fitness. That's for sure. You can definitely get stuff a lot more cheaper than there, for sure. James Review says, hi. Says, hi, how you doing, man? Hope you're keeping well. That's the link I've just commented in case anyone joins in. So, Liam Hunter says, who's coming up to the Premier League this year? All I know is Leeds United is. West Brom are now back in the Premier League now, and the other one to come up, I'm still a bit torn. It could be either between. It's going to be between either Fulham or Brentford. Possible Swansea are in with a shout as well, actually. So I think Cardiff have lost it. They've lost 2-0 on their home game, and that was against Fulham for sure. Brentford still within a shouting chance of still 1-0 down. And it against who was it again? I think it was Swansea. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Swansea, yeah. So I think they're still within a chance of trying to maybe to get think. Where I'll just read a couple of more comments before we get Jay into the stream. So Andrew NUFC says, I rate our season 5 out of 10. We've been very lucky to get 44 points. And Dubravka's kept in a lot of games 140 saves. Yeah, he has. Like, some games we've been lucky to get points. We have pulled off miracles. For sure, you could say that is for sure. So, yeah. But again, at least we are guaranteed for Premier League football for next season. That is for sure. Geordie says, what do you think of Bournemouth kicking off about getting relegated as Villa stayed up because of goal line technology? Yeah, I did. Yeah, something about that. I mean, I did feel gutted for Bournemouth, actually, because I rate Eddie Howe was a really good manager for sure. And yeah, it was just a real shame how it happened for them. And unfortunately, they went down. Got the victory against Everton, but had to rely on West Ham to beat Aston Villa, but it was turned out was a 1-1 draw. But yeah, we'll just wait and see. Liam NUFC Brentford lost at the Liberty Stadium. Yeah, I thought so. That was it. So I wonder if Sharky is coming in tonight. Yeah, I think he'll come in at some point for sure. Yeah, Andrew NUFC says favorite goal of the season. Oh, that's a tough one. Actually, it's been some really good ones. Sure, you could see the likes of Matty Longstaff. against Man United. You could probably say Shelby against Man City. Yes, been some really good ones. It's hard to pick a one that's been definitely goal of the season so far, but there's has been some great goals scored. You could say for sure. James Review says, hopefully next season is very smooth, unlike this season with the big break at the end. Yeah, that was a shame when the part of the season had to be called off because of the coronavirus pandemic. And yeah, and we've never seen this happen before. I don't think we've ever seen Premier League football take place in June, July for sure. That's for sure. But right then, we'll get Jay into the stream now. Retro and UFC. So here he is now. So we'll welcome him in now.
Hello, Peter.
How you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Just loving life. I'm doing fine, mate. I'm doing great. So the season's been up and down season, isn't it?
So how do you rate the season? How do you think the season's gone overall, Jay? First
overall,
season under Bruce. How do you think it's gone?
Kebab Bruce.
Hmm?
Kebab Steve Bruce, eh? Kebab, no, it's Cupboard Steve Bruce, isn't it? Cupboard, that's his name. Cupboard Steve Bruce.
The game from a guaranteed safe.
Yeah, first season we've been up and down. It's been very some of the games have been fine, but some of the games got the formation wrong or the five at the back. I don't know why I pick out the back four. For me, it's in a
that was one of the bad points, was going five at the back in a lot of games for sure. And it just wasn't working. We were dropping points left, right, and centre. And then Steve Bruce know he had to change it for sure.
But we were dropping points like a stone.
Sure,
we had some good moments, but had some wins. Obviously, when at Tottenham, when it had some good wins, but it seems to me it's been very weird. Not being at the stadium watching the football.
I know a lot of fans were really worried that we could have got sucked right into a relegation battle. That is for sure. So yeah, but maybe I think a lot of people probably would have took 13th place under Steve Bruce's first season. That's for sure. Because under the ownership, we'll always be probably around mid-table in relegation battles. That is for sure. We'll just read some more comments out loud. Just popped up. So Jordy says Almiron v Crystal Palace has to be up there as one of the best moments. Yeah, that was a really good goal as well. Miggy versus Wolves, good goal as well. Yeah, that was a canny goal as well that he scored down at Molineux for sure.
Yeah.
Joey says local kebab shops are more impressed with Steve Bruce than us fans are. Yeah, I know, like a lot of fans are deeming this season to be but I did say it has gone better than what I expected to be. That is for sure. So yeah,
the good.
Also, how did you? Jay, how did you also feel like the remaining games had to take behind closed doors and you weren't allowed to go back and watch the team?
Yeah, very, very weird. But I couldn't watch any of the game. I watched some of them, but I was just like, the season tickets, I don't want to get my money back. But it was weird. It was weird watching when comes doors. It was very weird watching. About the fans there, it was like a silent, just silence. No one was talking at the fans. It was very, very, very weird, Peter, for me. But it's got to be done, isn't it? It's got to be done. Had a very tough year.
It's all about money these days. That is the issue, for sure. I thought it was money in it.
Yeah, it's been one of them years. It's been a quite difficult season. You know, the fans being in the stadium before this pandemic happened. But for me, I want to go back now. I want to go back and support the lads, come behind the team. If I don't get this to take over, my hands at I'm the same. I agree with you on that one as well. My hands just in the water now. It's been going on for a lot of time now. Now it's happened.
Yeah.
Just being like a bunch of salt.
Liam says, since the Man City defeat in the FA Cup, I lost interest in the season. Yeah, I think after that, a lot of fans knew we were going to be safe. They just thought, we've got now to play for now. Let's just see what we can do for the rest of the season. Even now, when the game after Bournemouth, God, if all the players were on the beach after that, unfortunately.
They were drinking on the beach. And you know, to get their heads together. I'm telling you, next season, like.
Absolutely. Andrew NFC says, who would you say is the most improved player this season? I'm going to actually go with Federico Fernandez. I think he's done very well, solid defensively. That is for sure. I've been very impressed with him lately. So
I have as well. He'd be in the mount at the moment.
I think he's done well. He did well for a centre back partnership with Lascelles, but Shane Lascelles had to be picked up an injury, which ruled him out for the rest of the season. Unfortunately, he's either had to play with someone either like Krath or Fabian Schär, who's had a. Yeah, I think he's put.
We have won this season, so going forward. Yeah. It's just that person. So like in the
Yeah,
we had some good players. We had quality players. You know, like we've had it's been a weird season for the lads.
no, it has like that is for sure. So, but yeah,
Yeah, we had one for us and then getting 2 goals. It's been,
under
it's
any
been
Iron Man Freddy Fernandez. I definitely yes.
man, yeah, he'd be
He's 18 years old as well. At least we've got him for another year at this football club for sure. So yeah.
it's been good.
Liam and UFCs, if takeover doesn't happen, more people will spend money at Gateshead obliged. Well, I've said I'm going back next season to back the lads, but I wouldn't buy. I'm definitely going to go back to some non-league games. That is for sure. Gateshead for
I'll be as
sure.
well.
Go
I'll
back
be
to
as well.
Blythe again, and even some other clubs that are in non-league. That
Yeah,
I
there's
wouldn't
Button as
them
well.
as well. For sure.
There's Button as well. There's Button where I live. They need support.
The Bedland Terriers.
Yeah, that's my local team. I go and watch.
I wouldn't mind trying those out. I wouldn't. Again, there's also teams like
But they got players back, but Blythe and gets out a lot better than Terrace.
Newcastle Benfield. I've watched them. I watched them when they played the Newcastle under 23 in the Northumberland.
Using that, Peter. Guess who's back at the club? Guess who's back? Peter Ramfridge.
Oh yeah, Peter Ramage is the under 23 assistant now.
Yeah, he's back. Got to see him back at the club. Is it assistant? You may get the players back up, get the players motivated.
Definitely, yeah. I'm going to go back and watch the under 23s play as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and watch the lads next season for sure.
Yeah, me as well.
Some league football as well when we are allowed to go back in. That is the thing.
Hopefully.
Andrew and UFC's really needed to go through. Well, unfortunately, I think I've lost hope with it now. I don't know what the hell's going on.
We're both happy. I agree on that one. It's just gone completely down the water. It's dead. It's like watching someone get beat every week. What it is. Can you? It's been a one of those seasons, so it's been a crap season. Like, but we're gonna get out next season, get a player in the summer, get some players in the summer. We need players in. We need some quality in the team.
Yeah, that is for sure. Reese Robson just joined now, lads. Welcome to the stream. And he says, who would you sign from the relegation team? Some class players in there. I actually wouldn't mind Callum Wilson and Josh King from Bournemouth. I wouldn't mind them two for sure.
Yeah, quality.
The other teams.
Norwich.
Maybe.
Norwich.
I know there's rumours we've been linked with Cantwell, I've heard, but
Cantwell. I had one about there, but after Demar Gray as well. Demar Gray from Leicester.
Demar Gray from Leicester. I've heard that was
a
Then we'll just wait and see. We'll probably get linked with a lot of players. No. Then
no one else. Be a long list.
Geordie says, wouldn't mind watching some Newcastle Blue Star matches next season, who are managed by Kenny Warren and also have Lee Clark on board a club going in the right direction. Yes, I heard about that. I actually wouldn't mind checking those out as well. One time, Newcastle Blue Star.
I never heard them before. Must be new team setup.
I think they play. I think it's someone Scotland. They play.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's where the play is for sure. Andrew NFC says Doucouré from Watford, brilliant box-to-box midfielder. Yeah, I think that would be a one I would have as well. Troy Deeney, he is a good striker, but he's in his feet. I don't know, but I think he will leave Watford for sure. But again,
all time I know. Let's get on the Troy Deeney.
Jody says Callum Wilson is a realistic target, especially since they're in the championship, as we could offer them Dwight Gale. Yeah, I think, as I said, Dwight Gale is more suited for the championship. I know he's done well since the Premier League restarted after lockdown, but I just don't think it's enough, in my opinion. That is the problem, where striking areas have been definitely one of the poorest, or you could see the poorest this season. That is for sure.
Yeah, it's been very difficult to watch. Yeah, it's been difficult season.
Jordy says, I keep Gale, mate. He's our best current striker, and I like us to say Wilson. Yes, I said I would go for Callum Wilson. Dwight Gale maybe as a backup, I don't know, but I think we're going to have to get a couple of 2 or 3 strikers in at the very most.
We need because we're gonna lose. We need some and they can work around. You know the top we got, but we need something.
Dan Graham's, yeah, even the lads. How you doing, bro?
Are we down, Graham? The main man.
Stream sometime, man, for sure.
All right.
So yeah, as you know, the link is down in the description, but it's also somewhere in the comment in the live chat section as well. So
I was the same over there. Mine over there for my Liverpool one I did. And that's
Andrew in UFC, so unless we sign 2-3 decent strikers, we've got to keep Gale. Yeah, possibly if we don't get a striker and only maybe one striker at the most, but
yeah.
this is a very interesting one. Geordie says Jacob Murphy, keep or sell. That's a very
what do you say?
because the thing is, I don't think the lads had a chance really. That is the problem. I don't think he's
Yeah.
had a chance in the squad.
It's been a down season for Jacob Murphy, you know. It's been a very down season for him. I will keep him because you know he can get.
No, I wouldn't mind actually trying him just for one season. See
Try him
how
out.
I think we've wasted the lad. That's for sure. I just don't. He's not barely played.
He hasn't. Been
Yeah,
very
what do you got, Murphy? Would you keep us selling for sure?
I will keep him. Keep the lad. He's a little lad. He's one of the lads. So keep him.
Okay.
If he wants to go, he wants to go. But it's up to the end of the day. End of the day.
So yeah.
For his quality of fun.
Andrew UFC says he's had a brilliant season for Sheffield Wednesday and might be tempted to give him a chance. Aye, why not? I would say he's probably got to be. I would say he's probably better than Christian Atsu for sure. Atsu could get it off.
Arthur just needs to get away on the club. He's not done much season like for us. Yeah, we want him like.
Yeah. Dan Graham says, I like Jacob Murphy. Lads got pace, and him with ASM on the wings could improve our attack big time. It could possibly do that for sure, yes. Maybe just bring him and see how he could do for next season for sure.
Yeah. Probably.
Jody says, I think under Steve Bruce, he could be a better player than he was under Rafa, plus Newcastle is his club. Yes, that is right. If Steve Bruce does give him a chance for next season, hopefully he might do well. That's what one might seem for sure.
So happens.
Reece Armstrong says, Adam Armstrong, what a season he's had. Is he the one that got away well? I just don't think. Just didn't give him really a chance, did we? That was for sure.
He was a good player, but why get rid of him on the local round?
Like when I played in the 2-0 win when we beat Man City in the cup back in 2014.
He did.
I just don't think he's really had a sniff.
He's had an out. Yeah, weird season, like.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like, why just get rid of young talent and regret it? For sure, that is the thing.
Well, good talent, but just get rid of it all.
Andrew in UFC IPF, we sell Atsu, Aaron's, Mutu, then Murphy would be a good backup winger. Yes, as I said, Atsu, I said bin for all that. Okay, he just doesn't cut in the Premier League for me. Christian Atsu, Rolando Aaron's, I don't think he's got a future anymore. And the same with Mutu as well. I just don't think he has a future anymore. So yeah, why not? I would definitely give him a chance for sure. Just see how he
gets on in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah, we won like. Yeah, we had one.
Jordy says, Adam Armstrong is a player I would love to get back some point in the career. I think, to be honest, the championship has held him lows. Yeah, it definitely has.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when the next step up could be from in the Premier League. That is for sure.
Mm.
Reece Robson just shows our club don't give a fuck about the youth players. That is very true. I think some of the youngsters have definitely left. Although the likes of Jamie Starry left, but he was going backwards and forwards. That was the problem. Didn't think Victor Fernandez is another one. I think that's left as well for sure. So
horrible. Been a horrible season for the different players.
Liam Hunter says, let's hope this transfer window is better than last season's. Yeah, I think hopefully Steve Bruce can look and thinking, I want to get some players to try and make sure I can get a bit higher if possible. That is for sure. And I think if he can get rid of a lot of this deadwood out of the squad and just replace them with some even better players, that is for sure. So, yeah, just do that. That is for sure. Dan Graham says, still no word on Matty Longstaff. No, not at the moment, but I think he's going for sure. That's the thing. He's not getting picked. And Bruce has been persistent with bloody Bentaleb a lot. I think that just says it, really, to be honest, as far as I'm aware.
Right. Simple. He's crap.
What's he asking for 80 grand a week? I wouldn't even take him on permanent if he asked for a pay cut.
No, I would say I'll put him. Pick Musselland. But they're better crap.
It wouldn't be that was the problem.
There's always better. I prefer Lazaro. He's meant him. Keep it at the club. Get that Lazaro at the club. Any day.
Andrew in UFCs, I like us to sign Adam Armstrong, a young talent. 16 goals, 10 assists for Blackburn this season. Well, again, you never know. He could be ready for that next step up for sure.
Could be. It's a big step again.
Andrew in UFC says, on a white Gashi, we won't be able to aim higher in the league. Yeah, as I said, that is the problem with this ownership. They always see this club around mid-table relegation battles for sure. Okay. And that is just the sheep thing to see for certain. So I said, so it doesn't matter if I have a top-class manager or a poor manager in. That is how the ownership just see this club mid-table.
Poor.
Gregor said it, bend it like Bentaleb.
Bend it like Beckham. For sure.
Sorry, but I don't think I'll be keeping Bentaleb at this club for sure.
Rob, he's done enough for us.
He's been lazy a lot of the time.
The best player we had at that club this year has got to be Lazaro and not Danny Rhodes.
Lazaro, I actually don't think I would mind giving him another chance.
I think
Rose had sent back
to Tottenham. Send him back.
Yeah, I would like to get Williams permanently for sure, but it all depends if we can or not. That is the thing.
I like Williams. He's a good lad. Good player.
Yeah. Just waiting, but hopefully we can get some more people in the live stream. Hopefully, Dan Graham, you can pop up in the live stream as well. It'll be great to have you on for sure.
Dan Graham.
So, yeah.
As in it this season. See what happens next season. I haven't got the new shirt yet. I want to get the new shirt. My boss at the day, I'm paying 65 quid for that.
Well, what's the nearest shop to you, Jade? Any sports shop?
I got the way one today, the old one, the green one for 35 quid.
I like that one. I thought that was good. A lot of you think away kits have been a lot more better than our bloody home kits lately, for sure.
Just true.
Andrew UFC says, would you sign Danny Rose or Williams? For me, Williams all day long.
Agree 100% Williams. Not Danny Rose, he's too old.
Williams says, great attitude, yes, and he has come out with stuff on Twitter that he loved playing for us.
He did. He loved the fans.
Jody says, Woodman, loan out or use as backup. See, I like to keep Freddie Woodman, but the thing is, it wouldn't shock me if he wanted out to get more first-team football like he has been doing at Swansea, that is for sure.
He's been good at 100 million. He's been getting a lot of help. Up, down wheels. He's a good keeper.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see for sure.
He needs that support. Because I actually spoke to him at the training ground.
Yeah.
About what he's a good lad, actually, good lad to talk to. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Talk to, training ground. So we'll
Mhm.
get the new players in next season, hopefully.
When the new kits will get released, hopefully they'll be out soon. It's normally about August time, I think they get released for sure.
The home kit's out, so well, I'm still waiting.
The away kits can normally come out about August time.
Yeah, time probably.
Says, what rating would you give Bruce out of 10 for this season?
You go first, Peter. Trust me, you go first.
Torn between either a 5 or a 6.
I will go for 5 or 4. Probably gone for me. He's just done.
I think because there's been some things like the bad parts have been he started off with the wrong formation. He was using Rafa's formation from last season, but he know now he had to change it to a 4 at the back to more of an attacking formation, and it did work a lot better. That is for sure. That he's took it to an FA Cup quarter final. The only thing is, we didn't take that seriously for sure in the quarters. But yeah, I'll give him about 5 out of 10.
Aye, about 4.
One before that. Jordy says, "Do you live local to the town, Retro and UFC? Stoffin is your best place to get the new shirt." You don't live
I live Bunton. I live right in Bunton, like Northumberland, so I live quite. For me, I have to get a bus to town and bus, so it'll be like an hour and a half, an hour on a bus. From here to town. So
Reese Robson says, opinion on Fabian Schär. I see his operation went well today. I think he's underperformed this season for sure. Fabian Schär for sure.
yeah, I had a great season.
Spurs game.
He's not had a good season.
All the way, I think he's been underperformed this season. Fabian.
He's been out of London as well. Be the same crap. Been the same. Be all the seasons, isn't it?
That is the thing.
Been a shocking season. Shocking.
I don't know what's happened to him because I thought he was one of our best defenders last season. Suppose he hasn't been playing a lot because, but yet again, Fernandez has been doing a lot more better. Sure.
Yeah, been Iron Man Fernandez. Been class.
Yep, definitely for sure.
Been a great season, but some downs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
We've got to think positive about next season, though.
Hopefully, I just
Going
see.
forward, let's reach out of Newcastle United.
I think it's been rumours one might listen to offers to like Christian Atsu. Hopefully, yes, can get this player off the bill for sure.
Off the way, that way.
Yeah, then I think that's another player I'd get off the wage bill as well. I don't think he's had a poor season. Manquillo's been to get ahead of him, who's improved a lot lately as well for sure. Even Emil Krasny get ahead of him as well in right back.
Yeah, it's been one of those seasons as well. But they played in midfield. Talking from Mike Longstaff as well for Sean as well. Been why I would play Sean May and Mike Longstaff together because why play better than for he's crap. Play the ball a lot less.
Yeah, but I said Benalev was just a player we didn't need.
We didn't need him. He's not a player for us. Like Newcastle,
Andrew and UFC said he'll sell Jolin. He doesn't get into our best starting 11. Maybe, but you could you look at him to playing in his natural position? But I think what I would do is I would take the number 9 off him and just not offer it to anyone, unless give it to someone who knows who's gonna really perform. That is the thing for sure. So
get something different.
Reece Robson says, I still think there is a top player in him, though. He can't bring the ball out and play and ping a long pass. Yeah, I think he's all about Fabian Schär there. I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably is. Oh yeah, probably is. Shelby. As well.
Yeah, Shelby has been really
Yeah.
impressed with Shelby this season for sure.
Be a good player.
What?
Dog. Be a good player, and just Shelby, being quality going forward him. Any more questions, Peter? Any more questions on your head?
What come through?
No one. Think I was up with a compare. So I'll take one. I'm a question new in my head.
Yeah, again, I'm just waiting through for sure. So, any other good parts you would say about this season, Jay?
Parts. It's been alright, but we've had the moments. We've had the moments this season. We had but I had some good moments, with some good goals. With some great goals this season, and some good matches. Like Man City 2-2 and beating Man United 1-0. That's scored on his debut. It's been a good season. But to the end of it, it's been up and it's been a bit down. Like
The last few games after the Bournemouth game have been triping.
we've been like watching a Sunday team. This kind of weird.
Andrew NFC, sorry, Rich, I don't know what he was referring to there. I'm not sure. Andrew NFC, Shelby has been good this season as well. Yes, he has. I'm glad Bruce kept the faith in him because Rafa didn't. That is for sure. He's definitely one of our creative players of all time. For
All right,
sure.
Jordan. He's a good little player because he can play the long balls. You see, that's what he's good at.
Peter Gregor says, how much is Gale worth on the market?
I would say 12 million.
I think it's just maybe over 10 million, particularly in these transfer market now, considering it gets more and more expensive every single time now. That is for sure.
It's been a very weird start of this window, like.
Oh, yes.
See what happens in the next couple of days. We'll get some players and hopefully we can. I want them put in the club, can you? To new faces.
Geordie says, what did you make of Callum Watt's debut on Sunday? I thought the lad played some decent football and looked promising. Hopefully he can gain more experience next season out on loan into a Championship League One club. Yeah, I thought he didn't look too bad when he came on. I thought for sure, but yeah, there's that chance that could make him send him on loan just to make him see if he does improve a bit more. But I don't know. I could maybe like to see a lot more if Steve Bruce decides to select him and he's part of the first team plans for next season. But we're just got to wait and see on that. Yes. Anyway, so Geordie says Gale is worth 15 million to the right club. Yeah, I think so. I think to a championship club, majority of it, yes.
Yeah. Norwich or Bournemouth, something like that. Okay.
He'll go to one of them for sure.
Never will.
He'll definitely bag double figures in that league for sure.
He will, like. Be one of the seasons, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, as I said, guys, if you want to drop in the live stream, feel free to do so. The link is in the description, as always. So, yeah. And also, if you're on new, please do hit the like button and please do subscribe to the channel as well. Must really appreciate if you could do that as well. So, yeah. Yeah, Andrew and UFC. I'm not sure who would be realistic striker targets for us, to be fair. If the takeover happens, it's a different market. Well, I think we'll just get linked with anyone a lot of the time these days. That is for sure.
Yeah,
But I've just got to wait and see, I suppose. But
a couple of days. Hopefully. No tears. But no tears. Hopefully not. What happens.
yeah, guys. I said I'll keep putting the link in for you to join the stream. Hopefully, we'll get some I do like to join the stream regularly, so we'll just wait and see for sure.
Yeah, I don't live streams of it. I didn't too at the minute, but I did one on last weekend. No, other weekend, but other weekend I did one. I'm one, but one I did again. I had it again.
Yeah.
So it's still a weird one, like this season, like a weird season, but it's happening next season. Good to new players and
I think I tried to get a comment from Reese, but just didn't come through there. I wonder what it was. So I've got both on YouTube open, so I'm just trying to see if it'll pop them in the live stream. I don't think it will. Aye.
let's go.
Jody says, best stadium you've been to watch Newcastle play at?
How many away games doing a bit than me?
Last one was at West Ham, we won 3-2. But I've been away games back in the really old days for sure. Under Bobby Robson era, Graeme Souness era, Glenn Roeder seasons as well. I've seen them play. Do you know what? I'm going to go with Anfield because I think atmosphere at their stadium is unreal as well for sure. So I'm going to go with Anfield. I've been to Anfield about 3 times.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
2000, the last game of the 2003-2004 season when we drew 1-1. What was another one? I think just before Christmas in 2004 when we lost 3-1. And Boxing Day 2005, so in the 2005-06 season. So that was the last time I went to Anfield where we lost 2-0 in that game. But yeah, I'm going to go with Anfield.
Yeah, go with that as well.
Anfield is a great stadium.
Christian, I like. Tired Peter?
Not bad. Not bad. Yourself?
Oh, I'm good, man. It's been busy, you know. Busy that day. Spending money, as usual.
Beetle Grego 7 says, my Tottenham friend was telling me how amazing Spurs' new stadium is. Very jealous. Longest ball in the history. I wouldn't mind actually taking a visit to Spurs' new ground, either for an away game or even if I had like a tour there. For sure. I definitely wouldn't mind.
I won't go to that stadium, the Spyway Bar. I will go to Emirates and Tottenham Stadium. I will go to Emirates. Then go to Tottenham. Like.
Yeah, Andrew NUFC was at the Kabay goal in Peter at Anfield. No, I wasn't at them when Kabay was playing for us. First time I went was at the end of the 2003-2004 season. We drew 1-1. Shola Obi scored for us, and I believe Michael Owen scored for Liverpool. The 2004-2005 season, we lost 3-1. I think we took the lead through Patrick Kluivert, and then I think we scored an own goal through Titus Bramble, I think, and then Neil Mellor scored, and then Milan Bashi made it 3-1, and the 2-0 loss was through Steven Gerrard and Peter Crouch scored in that game, and Lee Boy got sent off. So that was so that's the 3 times I've been at Anfield. So
Pretty good,
yeah,
man.
but obviously their stadium is really unreal, like. So yeah, but I haven't been to Anfield since, but to be honest, I wouldn't mind going back to Anfield for sure. Reese Robson says, how lucky was Aston Villa? I hate them. Horrible. Yeah, that we'll see. Sure. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Villa for sure because of the sub on the when we got relegated in 2009. But again, to be honest, I feel like if they lose Jack Grealish, I think they could get roots. I think there's a chance they could possibly go down next season. That is for sure.
Well,
Jody says it would be good to play Leeds again next season, and it's one of the highlights of the season. Yes.
Leeds
United again for sure. So yeah.
Leeds.
Going down Ellen Road for an away game as well.
But as well. I'll make Andrew like. Why not?
Aye.
Then go down the lads. See what happens.
Anyway, I'm just going to go and grab a quick drink, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah, bomber. He's back. We're kind of cool. Maybe it's kind of cool, company.
Hmm?
Kind of cool there, Peter, lad. Kind of cool.
Yeah, well, Cola Zero, but it's Aldi's own brand of it.
Yeah, why not? Better now.
Yeah. Geordie says it will be good to play Leeds United again as it's one of the highlights. Oh no, just read that one actually. Hold on. Gale has good memories of Ellis Road. Yeah, he certainly does when he scored 2 goals. The last time we played them there, we won 2-0 for sure.
We did. We did against Leeds. We can beat Leeds one again next season, hopefully.
Yeah.
Be not.
Same for some more comments, but hopefully we'll get more people in the live stream very soon as well.
Hopefully we get shot as well. Get shot in.
Hopefully it'll come short.
Nah.
What would you say the bad parts have been of this season, G?
Bad parts. Bloody hell. Come on, Brain. Me and you know better than me, Brain. Come on. Bad parts. Bloody hell. The worst one is getting beat Man City 5-0 at the Eddie had.
Oh, that was
I
dreadful.
was total talk to us. I would say Arsenal as well. One of them. And I would say, what the hell? Man United at home away. Depending on
The league just fell apart after that.
but then we had no thinking what the hell was going on. Like Steve Bruce with the formation he had, being the fact that bad didn't work, but he went to the back four. It worked better than the back five.
Jody says Ali Pop better than Council Pop. Hi.
Already passed better than
Pop to
Council.
me, as long as it tastes good, that's all I can say.
Tastes good and tastes lovely to have in your mouth. Tastes good.
And anyway, says he's drinking Council Pop. Jody made lol. I wonder what he's drinking. Reese Robson said he's drinking an ice cold Corona. Nice one. Enjoy it, man, for sure. That's the
You
thing.
mean coronavirus?
Are they beer Corona?
I like beer. I'm a beer. Like got to in the fridge today. Bought some today from my old shop for the weekend.
All 3 of the Leicester matches have to be the worst point of the season. Well,
It was like the foot.
the cup game we got to know penalties. Or the away game was embarrassing. As I said, I felt so
We're that way.
when they went down there. No, we
Apple
lost, and even the 3-0 home defeat against Leicester was horrendous as well. I mean,
I was quiet. Okay.
what was he doing in that game? That's all I can say. But yeah,
Oh, I not them got beat.
Andrew Eddie says one of the worst performances this season was Everton away for 93 minutes. That's the worst we played. Everton should have been 5-0 up Lejeune. But yeah, but what happened? It was a fault for their last goal. Bloody T-Rex arms, little arms, Pickford.
He's got little arms, only got little arms, Jordan Pinkford. Little arms, only got little arms.
I feel he's a decent keeper. I don't think he's a decent keeper at all now. I think he makes mistakes.
Yeah, like a robot does. Same what Sunderland?
Oh,
He's crapping, man. That bloody Pinkford.
how he gets number 1, that is for sure.
You know what's Pinkford? Crap. He knows Pinkford. It's been one of the seasons.
UFC T-Rex Pickford, aye, exactly. Says it all, doesn't it?
T-Rex Pinkford is one of our best. He's one of the best people to watch.
I just don't think he's that of a decent keeper.
He's not his crap. The best keeper is one of the brother for us. Been Mink in this. He's been one form. I got him twice as well. Not him twice though.
Jody says Dean Henderson or Nick Pope should be England's number one, not John Pickford. You're right, definitely for sure. Dean Henderson's done really well for Sheffield United. I wouldn't be surprised if Man United want to give him a chance next season. That is for sure. Nick Pope's done very well as well. So yeah, both of them to me should be in with a shout of England number one for sure.
They have to be because they're the boss. But keep on asking this season because you look at the Pope. He's been good for Hamilton. Oh my.
Andrew and UFC Nick Pope, I reckon. Alex McCarthy should be considered as well. The Southampton goalkeeper. He's definitely not a bad keeper as well, to be honest. Like, I know it just depends because I will say I think he's in his 30s though, but again, I think he can still do very well. Keeper I think can still do, and that's Ben Foster.
You got any Fosters? Yeah, you got any Fosters?
No, I've got Fosters, unfortunately.
God, that one got you there, Ben Foster. Where's I'd go on that line. I'd go on that line. Ben Foster's. He's a good keeper.
Foster's, it's alright. I'll only drink it if there's no else.
Adam Tennant's. Scottish lager, lovely.
I'm not sure if I've tried Tennant's before.
I've got some cans in the fridge. Got 8 cans from B&M's. Not in the fridge.
Yeah, just waiting to see for more comments, and if any more people will join in the live stream as well. Hopefully we can.
You know what's weird? We're not wearing two shirts.
No, it's a thing, unfortunately.
I'm meeting this paper t-shirt.
Well, Newcastle fans, a lot of us subscribers.
Yeah, my home as well. The back of the room. The location. You know I am. It's right there. Back me.
Jody saying the laughing faces. Probably for thingies. Oh, Jonathan Young's just popped up. Even a lot.
All right, Mr. Jonathan Young. I'm keeping absolutely fun. David Dorsey. Cut the pop. Keep me warm, man. Keep yourself a bit healthy.
Exactly. Yes, that is for sure.
You gotta be. Been going for the past month. It's a strange wheel now out there. It's strange, weird wheel.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
You know.
Pardon me.
Who's been the worst player of the season for us, Peter? The worst player. I could say Jordan. That's one.
Possibly.
Number 2. Second worst.
It's been shocking since he came on loan.
Who's that? Number 3. Worst player. Number 3 worst player of the season for us. Top 3.
He's not been great. He's been more in the treatment room as usual.
Who's that?
Carol Yedlin, I don't think he's had a good season as well.
Hasn't, has he? No. For a crap season, him. Crap season.
Hi, bro. He says, why don't we sell Gale and buy Morelos? Which is, well, after there's 2 more questions relating to 2 answers relating to Morelos, and they said Morelos is going to Lille. I've heard yes, he is off to Lille. Apparently,
He'd be big
liability. I think he could score goals. I think he was really thought he was good for that Rangers side, to be honest. Like,
I think he'd be big miss for Rangers, especially with him and Gerrard. He'd be a big miss for them.
He has got discipline problems, but
he can sort that one in France. He gets over there.
Or Andrew in UFC worst player, he says is Joe Linton. Well,
Pence, man. It's 40. Not 40 minutes. It's 40 pence.
Your does football the highest is true, yeah.
40 pence.
Jonathan Young says worst players for me, Joe Linton and Ben 11. Oh, I have to see Ben 11 there for sure.
Ben of crop. He's been crapping me.
Reese Robson says Corona the beer, not the virus, lads. He says, what's your favourite beer, lads? Oh, I love Bonington's. Oh,
I
lovely
like
stuff.
I like Tenants. I
Ten-
like Tenants. Is Scottish lager from the Scottish Bay.
But the thing is, not many bars sell it. Not many bars have it on tap.
The soda, it's really lovely. And Bud Light as well. I like Bud Light as well.
Mm.
Bud Light's nice. Bit of Bud Light. Nice pint of.
Hi, but yeah, Bonington's is my favourite. I also like Iron Man Trooper beer as well, for sure as well.
Come on.
Your dose of football and highlight says we need a player who can take people on and create goals and score goals like Grealish. Yeah, we definitely need that kind of striker as well.
What do you
I
think?
think 10 off Newman can do that, but he needs a good striker to play in front of him.
He does. Pardon me. Hiccups.
Andrew UFC says Grealish won't come to us. He'll go to a top 7 club. I'll be amazed if he stayed at Villa.
I'll go this one.
He could do, but just wait and see. But I would be surprised if clubs gave him for sure. Jonathan Young says his favourite beer has got to be Corona with lime in it. I know up here like to have a bit of lime in the Corona for sure.
Yeah, they do.
Do it in Sol as well, yes, I agree.
Oh, yeah, Frogs will be as well.
He says he can't beat brown ale. I do like brown ale, but
Yes.
a lot of people say it's not as what it used to be, unfortunately. But yeah.
Anymore. Come back.
Your dose of football and highlight says, yeah, Jack will go to a top 6 club. I've heard, could he go to Man United? But I've been reading that apparently they've now put interest in him now and they're looking to get other players. I think they're more wanting to go for Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, they do.
I think that's who they've been looking to get with. Sure.
Yeah.
So, said guys, I'll be putting the link in the description for you for sure. I know the new people joining in the live stream just yet, so wait and see for sure.
Yep, what I'm say. First comes in. One season.
Reece Robson says, if I drink too much brown ale, I start setting about people.
Okay.
Sorry, what did you mean by that, sorry? Setting about.
It means say about people to know.
Apologies for that. Yeah. Just waiting for more comments to come in. Sure.
Yeah, have a good on that. Or someone else. Someone people.
Thinking of more things I can think of about this current season.
Yeah, been a weird season. Like been one of them, innit? Been one of them seasons, innit, for us.
Your dose of football and highlights says I watched an interview with Jack Grealish, and I'm pretty sure he's in talks with the club, but I have a feeling that he's going to Liverpool. Thing is, if he went to Liverpool, I don't know if he'd be a guaranteed starter there. That is for sure. If you see like Ronaldo,
Yeah, you've got Henderson in there. Henderson, you got one big person that can work on that, but he's good as another don't.
Reece Robson says, "Oh, it means I start fighting."
Oh, fighting means fight. So
never got into any drunken fight before ever in my life.
I won a couple of times, but no more like. No, I never will fight.
Andrew in UFC says, which players would you sell this summer? For me, Atsu.
Great.
Yedlin.
Great.
Send back to Schalke.
Send him packing.
I would like to send South Carroll. Anything as he said, a new contract. But again, it just looks so unfinished. I think Mudu needs to be moved on now. I just don't think he's got a future here now, this football club. I think I would also sell Fabian Schär this summer as well. I just don't know if he's looked interested at all this season for sure.
He's been very. He's not being himself for this season. With him, he's been very up and down.
Danny Rose, I think I'd send him back as well.
Yeah, it's been a weird season. Like I will keep Maximin and then Amaron because they're the most important players of the team.
Like move on, even though he's done well to score goals, but to me it's just not enough. I would say for sure.
Nothing have been enough.
Get double figures, for sure.
Yep.
Your Dulce Football Highlight says, "Who do you think will get this season?" God knows.
Oh, it's gonna be hard. Could be hard.
Just wait and see for sure. We'll just wait for sure.
See what happens.
Reese Robson says, "Other than football, what other sports you watch? I love UFC and boxing. I don't mind. I like watching a bit of wrestling now and then, even though WWE's not as good as what it used to be, unfortunately. I don't mind watching. I'm starting to get more into a bit of cricket.
You cricket? How about Peter?
Honestly, I watched England in the World Cup last year. I've been watching the Ashes and I've been watching them bits in against the West Indies in this Test series.
I've been watching. Sport. Been watching, but watching a bit of F1.
Congratulations to Stuart Broad getting his 500 wicket.
Aye, bit of F1. Been watching a bit of that. Bit of wrestling. That's it, really. That's it, really. And the football as well. The FA Cup as well. When it's on.
Yeah. Oh, Tony says, get rid of the whole team apart from Dubravka, ASM, and Almiron. Or definitely keep
Definitely.
ASM and Almiron, sure.
Agreed on that. Like, I definitely agree on that.
I think we need a new right winger.
That's what we do.
But I'd keep Richie. I wouldn't mind giving Lazaro a chance. Oh, it looks like we're ready for Lawrence to come in now. We'll get him in now. So we'll welcome Lawrence into the street. Here he is.
Hey guys.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
What, Lawrence? All right, mate.
Yeah, so welcome to the stream, Lawrence. How would you say this season's gone? 2019-20 season, first season under Bruce, 13th place finish.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Been better than what most of us expected, but the football's just not been good enough. But on the positive side, we did have a decent run in the FA Cup.
We did. That was the thing. So, highlights of the season, would you say, Lawrence?
I think beating Man United, beating Tottenham, beating Chelsea in the last minute, Shelby's goal against Man City, hammering Sheffield United and Bournemouth after the restart.
Yeah. Bad parts of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to help you, right?
I think.
Thank you for coming in. So I'll see you later.
Hey, man.
Don't forget to subscribe to Retro and UFC.
Okay, man.
Feel free to check him out. He does some content. So yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you later.
All right, so the worst part to say, getting hammed off Norwich. Getting beat 3 off Norwich. Hammed off Leicester twice, especially the second game when we had two of the last players we wanted to score in. Failing to draws against Rochdale and Oxford. Hammered the second half at Arsenal. Price say some of the way we ended the season, getting hammered off Man City. And also when we lost 1-0 at Palace.
That game was terrible against Palace away, for sure.
Also, probably the 2-0 loss against Villa.
That was a poor performance there as well. That has been quite a lot of negative stuff, but But you see, you were worried at the beginning of the season when we went from Rafa Benitez to Steve Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, I wasn't really on social media much because of Rafa leaving, because I knew it was just gonna be like, I knew what I was gonna be like. But I'd say I'll give Steve Bruce a chance. I mean,
would you have took 13th place at the start of the season?
Yeah. Even with the summer signings, because I think fans would have been pretty happy if we spent 40 million on a player in the summer and then 60 million as a whole, including like ASM and replacing Hosley with Carroll. But they would have been happy if Rafa had stayed. But I think it was extremely worrying, after that Norwich game. But Burnley beat Spurs, and like, what?
I'm just going to read some comments.
After the 5-0 game at Leicester, yeah.
Oh, I felt so sorry for Sharky and Archer Hen down there on that day.
Aye.
I'm just going to read some goal comments. Says Reese Robb says, I used to love WWE. Funny enough, I watched No Way Out 2004. Was that between Eddie Guerrero and JBL, whether that match turned into an absolute bloodbath from what I remember? Well, Johnny says, who's your favorite wrestler? I like Seth Rollins. Oh, mine is, for me, he's got to be the Big Red Machine Kane, as always, even though he doesn't appear as much now because he's a politician in America, in his own hometown, for sure. So, but yeah, Kane's always been my favorite from day one. Lee Munter says, I just subbed to Retro UFC. I think Jay would massively appreciate that. So yeah, thank you very much for subbing to his channel. Sure. So Jonathan Young says, Peter, I just wanted to give you a shout out for the live streams you've done, especially through the lockdown. Great stuff made. Yeah, cheers, man. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it was good. A good idea to come up with things like this, since I couldn't do like my original content when the Premier League was off at the time because of the coronavirus pandemic. But yeah, I was glad to get live streams done and be able to get other people involved. So that is for sure. So cheers, man. Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
for sure. And I just do it because just to keep you guys happy as well, for sure. So
I think Newcastle Fans TV are going to continue these post-match live streams just for like people who aren't at the game.
Yeah, that was a good idea for what they were doing, for sure. I think Richie and Lazaro are not good enough because they don't take people on, and if we want to create goals, we have to spend money. Thing is, I like with Richie, I think he likes to give 110%. Richie, for sure. I think he likes to play for the badge.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, that's for sure. Even though he's been tackling has been off, but you can sell. I've seen him on the pitch just trying to bark out instructions to other players as well to get forward to defend. Probably.
Yeah. I said on Sharky's video. It's a good decision to keep Richie because he just signed a contract. Lazaro, I would maybe look at another loan because I don't think I've paid the 22 million that's quoted, especially
I think I wouldn't give Lazaro the chance as well. I wasn't sure at the first, but I think he's done very well. Lately.
I'd like to have him in the squad, but I think the player values are going to go down, so maybe we'll just have to like look at another loan. Like the money's going to go down. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Johnny says, hoping to get some non-league games and non-league matches next season. Any matches in particular I should look out for? I definitely recommend Gateshead for sure. Blythe sponsors a shout as well, or just whatever. Just go and do it.
Newcastle Blue Star, they're kind of like very similar.
Newcastle Medfield, teams like them for sure.
Aye, and North Shields is good. I have met alongside brothers at some games. Actually got them signed the program the day before that Man United game. But Newcastle Blue Star, they've got Blue Star on the kit, so it's like kit from the 90s, and they've got Lee Clark on board.
Yeah, they have. That is for sure.
Plus, this is a club who's reformed a couple of years back as the original club. They won the bars, but they went out of business.
Yeah. I think the majority of players we currently have want to play for the club, unlike in the past But the problem is, I don't think some of them are good enough to have a successful season. Yeah, last time we got relegated, it wasn't just we had poor players. We had players with wrong attitude who just didn't want to be wanting out of the club as soon as we went down. That is for sure. And yeah, just says it all really. We had so many spineless players, but yeah, well, I've had a lot of players this season which is not good enough for this club at all. Well, I'm just going to read a couple more comments because it looks like Mr. Sharky's ready to come in to Nami TV. Dan Graves says he's going to come on shortly as well. Your dose of football and highlights says if I was Steve Bruce, I would go for Mason Greenwood.
Well, he's going to stay. I signed him on my FIFA career actually for my second season as like third choice. But I think if you Jose Mourinho stayed at Man United, he would have been on loan in the Championship. But I think he's at Man United long term.
Yeah. Well, then we'll get Sharky in the stream now. So here he comes. Hello.
Hey, Sharky.
Evening, lads. How's it going?
How you doing? Well, welcome to the stream, man. So, how do you find the season gone under Steve Bruce's first season, 2019-20 season? How do you think it went?
It's gone better than I thought. Going into the season, I don't think I really had too much expectation of where I think the club was going to be. It was either going to be mid-table, where you expect us to be, or relegation because of the manager and the poor decisions that the board make. Because when you go from Rafa Benitez to Steve Bruce, no offence, then you're kind of asking for trouble. No, that's like going from Alex Ferguson to Steve Bruce at Man United. You wouldn't just see that, would you? Do you know what I mean? It was kind of, at the start of the season, it was as you were expecting. What a poor start, losing games left, right and centre. I can pick out some of the low points. For example, that draw against Arsenal, 1-1. I can think about the Leicester game, 5-0. I was down there, a horrible day. We got beat off Norwich City, 3-1, but I could kind of understand that result with, Norwich City beating the likes of Manchester City. But what happened to Norwich City after that? When you're thinking, okay, they might consolidate mid-table, they got relegated. But he's obviously used the Rafa Benitez formation, the 5 at the back, and he's never hid away from that. And he's come up and said, I had to do that to try and get the lads more settled into the new management system. He changed it to his own formation in the second half of the season, and it's gone from there, and we've looked a lot more settled. Yes, we've had a few poor results here and there. We've had a lot of draws as well in there around January, February time, but not to mention that we've had some good moments, against Chelsea. Hayden scored that late winner in the 94th minute. You can pick out, even at the start of the season, that Tottenham 1-0 win, albeit Tottenham with a better side and they completely played off the park, but you've got to find a way to win. West Ham United 3-2 down at the London Stadium, my first ever visit there. We've also beaten Manchester United, seeing Matty Longstaff come through as well and scored at Old Trafford. The season's been very mixed on results, but it's kind of as you expected. Newcastle to be mid-table.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, we've got another person ready to come in now for sure. Here he comes.
Hey, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
How's it going? You right?
Yeah, all good. And yourself?
Hi.
I was going to say, Shorty, what would you say the poor parts of the season have been so far? Because I know you've touched on some of the highlights.
Yeah, the poor point, as stated, I have to say the Leicester City is definitely up there. Going down to the King Power Stadium on a Sunday afternoon, I was looking forward to going. I didn't have much hope for a win. I thought a draw would be great, but the way we set up, I mean, Hayden getting that silly red card, his tactics were all over the place. And I remember saying in the vlog that I wanted Steve Bruce out, and that was only, a couple of months into the season. Do I look daft for saying that now? Not really. I still kind of think the same, but I'm still going to give him a chance because I know he's still got a few negatives in Steve Bruce. But other negatives, trying to think now. Norwich City 3-1. I mean, getting beat off a relegated side. Just draws against sides who we shouldn't be drawn against, like Aston Villa at home, Watford, Brighton. It was a very poor start of the season, wasn't it? But you kind of the cup games as well. I mean, drawing against League One sides, albeit they wanted it more. But for me, Man City was the stick out one. Yes, they're a great side, but you don't go 5 at the back and just expect to say, yeah, Man City, you're a great side. There you go, have a semi-final. Do you know what I mean? Because if you go 5 at the back, you're asking for trouble. But what I will say, if we went 4 at the back like we normally do, I'm not saying we're going to win the game, but we'll give ourselves a chance of maybe going toe-to-toe with Man City, frustrate them for long periods, and then maybe hit them on the counter-attack. Man City are beatable, but there we go. But I would say it's 50-50 with highs and lows over the season.
I'll just read some more comments out before I ask Dan about how he thinks the season gone. So, Andrew NUFC says there might be an option to sign a couple of Chelsea players on loan this summer, especially now they've signed 3 top 4 players already. See, we should be looking to just go for loans. We do far too much of that. That is the problem, and it's like,
especially from Premier League clubs, because then they kind of play against them.
Yeah, we should look at both more, I think.
I mean, obviously, I'm never believing that one player. I mean, obviously, no matter how crucial a player is, I mean, one player shouldn't just be an excuse. But yeah.
Your dose of football and highlights says, "What's the news on the Arabs? I've lost all hope to take over now for sure.
I'm ignoring stuff just because nobody's got a clue."
Liam Hunter says, "Hi, Sharky."
Hi, Liam. How's it going? Evening.
And here comes Jay back again. Says, "Good evening, lads." Yes, I said thank you for popping in the street before, Jay. Yes, as I said, don't forget to subscribe to Retro and UFC if you want to go and check them out for sure. Right, so Dan, again, welcome to the stream. So, 30th place season, Steve Bruce's first season in charge. How would you say it's gone?
Better than expected, I would say, from the start. That's one thing you've got to say. A lot of people were doubting it.
You're really worried at the start of the season when we went from Rafa to Steve Bruce?
Oh, I definitely, because Rafa's got great European experience. Steve Bruce has had relegation experiences before. So there was a lot of doubts, I think. But got to get the lad credit, to finish 13th, which is a lot higher than we expected. I think a lot of people were expecting between at least lower than 16th, to be honest. So to get at least 44 points, I think it's a great achievement, actually. Considering the way we did this season as well. Because I know what you're going to ask Ness about what do you think of our performances. We've lacked a lot of attack this season. Our strikers
one of the worst up front, isn't it?
We spent 40 on Jolinton. He nets 2 goals. Our top scorer was Shelby with 6, a midfielder.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been our biggest problem this season. Our defense has been good, but our attack has just been really, really shite, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so highlights of the season, you would say, Dan?
Highlights, I would definitely say the win against Man U. Great goal from Longstaff. Newcastle don't pull the finger out the arse soon, they're going to lose him. It'll be a big miss. Definitely, after lockdown, the performances against Sheffield United and Bournemouth were a big plus to help us guarantee safety. But since the Bournemouth game, I think we did drop form a little bit. The game against West Ham,
players won the beach, unfortunately.
The game against West Ham was a good performance as well at home, and of course, when you and Sharky went to London Stadium as well. So, yeah, for me, if it wasn't for the likes of Dubravka, we could have seen a lot more goals. Maximan with his brilliant abilities, I think them two deserve the most credit. Almiron too for his improvement as well from the Palace game. So those three deserve a lot of credit.
What about disappointments of the season? I know you touched upon, but any more disappointments?
Well, the biggest one obviously is Jolinton. You expect him to come in 40 million, number 9 shirt, 2 league goals. That's a huge disappointment. Some of the performances as well, for me, our worst game of the season by far, sorry Sharky, was the 5-0 at Leicester, because we played like a bunch of pussies that day.
It could have been double figures.
Exactly. As I said, we played like a bunch of pussies. There were some performances we should have really won. The Brighton game before the end of the season was the most boring game I've ever seen. Andy Carroll should have bagged that header. He really should have bagged that header, and we could have got 3 points. But yeah, and of course towards the end as well, the injuries coming in, especially in defence.
Do you know what it is? It's been a bit of a mess sort of season, hasn't it? Like, we've just been scraping our way through and results and stuff, and it's just like, you could just tell it's when you see we play that they're playing for like the board on for like what the board want, not for what the fans want. And it's like every season we're just scraping for mid-table, and it's just like, there you go, season's done, 5 games to go. Just play how you want to play and just make sure you don't lose. Just don't look as if you want to lose. Just not see the last 4 or 5 results after Bournemouth. It was just a carbon copy. You just know what's going on.
Bournemouth was our last win, I think, and then we drew against West Ham, got kicked off City, 4 draw Brighton, lost to Liverpool. I think that was it.
Watford and Spurs beat us as well.
Watford as well. And of course,
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking forward to next season.
Not the minute, no. Considering where to, and you said earlier about losing to the relegate side with Norwich, and we went and lost to Watford as well.
Well, when
as well.
When we lost to Norwich, I was sort of like 50-50. I was like, okay, like we lost to Norwich, but they were at the start of the season, they won a good bit of form, and you're thinking, right, okay, they might actually be able to hold their own. They beat Man City after us. You're thinking, all right, if they can beat us and beat Man City, then they've got a chance. But then after that, they started losing games left, right, and centre. And then you look back at it now when you think, actually, we shouldn't be losing to Norwich. At least be walking away out of Carrow Road for a point. But the better side won. But that's a thing with Steve Bruce. You're not going to get any higher than mid-table, and that's the most frustrating thing. But his reputation represents the board. Like Steve Bruce is happy just to take the job. He's happy just to try and steer Newcastle away from the relegation zone. The board are happy to get the Premier League money each and every season, and that's the most frustrating thing, because you see other clubs like Leicester or a Wolves or a Sheffield United, they want to progress, even if they're not expecting Champions League, they're not expected to win the league. They want a cup run and they want to finish as high as possible. Why can't they get Europa League? Look at Leicester out of nowhere. Wolves came, they got it last season, but came very close at the end of last season, just gone. Sheffield United finished 9th. Yeah, they got kicked out, but look at them.
Yeah, Wolves will probably get Europe again next year, unless Arsenal pull off a shock in the cup final.
But that's the thing, you must be happy to be a Wolves, a Sheffield United, or a Leicester fan, because you know for a fine fact, you could finish anywhere in the season. Whereas Newcastle, for us, it's predictable. We're so predictable in the league. It's either a mid-table season for the board is happy, that they're happy with that. But then you look at the other side of things, we stay up or we'll go down. And they're both predictable. We've been down twice already. I hope we don't go down for a third time. But it's so predictable with this football club, and that's the most frustrating thing.
Yeah.
It is. I think when we're talking about predictabilities, I think a lot of people were predicting Sheffield United at the start of the season to go straight back down.
I had the bomb.
Same as well. Then again, it's not quite as bad as what I predicted. Southampton, Leicester, and Burnley be relegated, and then they've got Europe out of that season. Also, I've had Huddersfield go down in the Championship season, and they went up. And I had Arsenal top 4 this year.
Yeah, shy.
Nowhere near.
Well, I'm going to read some more comments out. Your dose of football and says this is an interesting one. Could you give me some tips on how to grow on YouTube? A lot of good things. Regular content, collaboration with other people, whether it's other YouTubers or just friends in general.
Or live stream like you're doing.
Yeah, live streams is another good one for sure. A lot of things. Well, you could say is any tips as well, Sharky? Since
well, when I came into YouTube, I just came in with my eyes open that it's going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of bumpy roads. But what I will say is, first and foremost, just be yourself. Don't be something you're not, and enjoy the ride. That's what I say. Yeah. Until you get sick. But honestly, YouTube's been great though, because if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have known who any of yous are. So it's kind of helped me in a sense, and you get to connect with other fans, which is good.
Exactly. Liam says rate out of 10 of this season.
You get to 6.
I gave it a 6 as well. But it would have been probably a 5 or 4. But if
I've actually given it a 5.
I would say a 5.
I think I would have given him a 5 if it been for like the whole season. But if you look at the second half of the season, I think he's bailed himself out just for the fact we've got an FA Cup run and we won a few like decent games over the season. But that's about it for me, really. 6. Yeah, 5, 6.
If we attacked more, scored more goals and created more chances, I would have given it a 6 or a 7. But definitely a 5 for me.
Do you know what, lads? So we can see him again next season. We'll have the same debate this time next year.
Jonathan Young says, well said, Dan. I think our best performance this season is West Ham away, especially the first 65 minutes. Some greater counter-attacking football. That game down at West Ham for first half, we had them all over the place.
Well, Peter, second half, we're doing our best to try and mess it up.
A bit like West Brom, but that game what happens when you've got someone with ridiculous pace against Zabaleta.
I was going to say, maybe St. Maximin could have had a hat-trick that game against West Ham.
You should have scored.
2 one-on-one chances with the keeper.
Yes.
I'd say, for me, Bournemouth was best performance. That's just my opinion.
I think you've got to give the home game
Away.
against Sheffield United a good shout as well. Particularly with performance second half after
Yeah.
was it Egan who got sent off for United?
Aye.
John Egan. So once
I kind of went with Bournemouth just because that game against Sheffield, obviously was good, but they went down to 10 men.
Still the way we reacted and the way we fought the game, that was good performance. And Johnson somehow scored.
Yep.
We will go down next season as things stand. It's Steve Bruce and Hull all over again. I will say if we don't sort the striker situation out, there's a massive chance we could get sucked right into it for sure.
Yeah.
We need to get some strikers into this football club for sure.
One thing you got to think, should we play Johnson on the wing and then maybe go for something like Callum Wilson, Josh King, something like that?
Yeah.
Well, it says it all when the strikers that have scored this season, it's the lowest in our history. If you combine them together, that's poor.
I would recommend what we should do is like we did with Rondon with West Brom, give Gale to Bournemouth on loan, and we can maybe loan Wilson or King.
I would just buy them. Honestly, I'll just buy them. We've got the cash there. I mean, at the end of the day, Bournemouth have gone down. They're going to want to look to get some money off them anyway. He's not going to want to stay. I know he didn't have his best season with Bournemouth, but Callum Wilson, he needs that sort of quality around him. So ASM on one side, Joe Linton on the other. He'll feed off that.
Yeah.
I think he could still have a chance at England as well, Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
I'd take Josh King as well. I think Josh King's got some quality. I think they've got pace like Bournemouth. They've got great strikers there. I'm amazed that they've went down with those players. I'm honestly amazed.
Kind of shows they've underperformed.
Yeah,
The problem is with Bournemouth, though, every season they were conceding 60, 70 goals.
Yeah. But I still think they have more than enough to survive.
And of course, there's huge controversy about Villa's goal score. And then that game against Southampton when Bournemouth thought they got an equaliser, then VAR ruled it out, and then Southampton scored the other end. So,
In my opinion, I think Bournemouth they'll just get some compensation. That's all that'll happen.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The Premier League won't just say, well, actually, have a playoff game between you both. That'll not happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Liam says, like I said, we aren't any different to Sunderland when they was in the Premier League. Well,
the problem is, oh, sorry, I was just before I say, Lawrence, we're actually surviving though. Like Sunderland, they went straight through it.
And another thing as well, actually, we are a bit different because Sunderland the strikers actually scored goals. Ours don't. It's our defenders that score.
And I think we are a bit better than that, but still not much better.
The thing is with Sunderland, though, right? I don't look at Sunderland as actually a Premier League football club. I do think they're top off maybe Championship club. In the they had it quite lucky for a good 10 years, and they finally went down. Exactly. I don't take any pride in saying that. I just don't think they're a Premier League club. Not because of their fan base or anything like that. I just don't think they really fill the ground, even when they win the Premier League. But look at us. Yeah. We've gone through loads of hard times, and we still fill the ground. But then what I'm trying to say is we've got quality in our side in that midfield and in the defence, and that's what bailing out up front's awful. But that's what's kept us in the Premier League. Look at the start of the season. The defenders like Kieran Clark and that were banging in goals left, right, and centre. At one point, we were like, "Whoa, our centre backs are actually our top goal scorers."
Yeah, you're just a footballer. You're just a footballer highlights this thanks, but yeah, no problem. Wish you success if you decide to go for it on YouTube. Liam and UFC, it wasn't even West Brom's strongest team in the FA Cup. If it was, we would have lost. See, I think it was a strong West Brom side. Charlie Austin was playing. Matty Phillips, he was playing as well.
They gave her a good game, to be fair to them, though. They came back into it. We're doing we're best to try and get knocked out. But when you look back at it, at the end of the day, they gave her a good game. We beat them because we're in the Premier League, but not just because of that. We wanted it more. But then you look back at the game and you think, well, it doesn't really matter anyway, because did we actually win the FA Cup? We didn't. We got knocked out. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Not really, but I suppose getting knocked out by Man City in the quarters is a lot better than what we've had.
But even if we got beat off West Brom, I still would have thought, well, you know what it is, Hawthorns, their fans would have been up for it, and there was a crowd there at the time. I was not going to lie, I was a bit nervous going into West Brom away because we're not normally good on the road. It doesn't matter who we're up against, and nighttime games as well, we're not suited.
I don't mean. But what was I going to say? But I think West Brom, they gave a good game towards the end, but when you wait till you're 3-0 down to wake up, you don't deserve to get anything.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to give credit to Slaven Bilic, really, not just for that game in general, but just to show that they can bounce back into the Premier League. They're a good side. I mean, I don't want to class them as again a Premier League club, but he knows he's getting the best out of that side, and I think they gave a game. Either way, they made a fist of it because we allowed it.
Somebody else probably impressed me as well as the Brazilian Pereira.
Yes.
Of the season.
Matthias Pereira. Aye.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Have you heard about what transfer budget apparently?
35 million.
Great money, that isn't it?
I'm gonna say I don't know if that's true. Yeah.
Fancy doing some League Two shopping? That'd be great.
Man. But
hey, you're the same in life. You've got to try and make money stretch.
But for me, I don't think anyone knows the budget, and as I've said before, the budget would have. I think everyone the spending will be a lot less thanks to the money lost.
Can I just say something about the budget as well? I don't expect us to spend much anyway, just due to the pandemic. I think it's going to be difficult for clubs to spend money because yes, there's been no fans, and yes, you could argue that Premier League clubs don't need fans because they played the last 9 games without fans. But then you've got to look at the bigger picture. Going into next season, fans can't get back in until October. They've got to try and find a way of balancing the book. So I can kind of understand if we don't spend that much, but I'd still like a couple of strikers in. Even if they're cheap, even if they're like £10 million each, that's fine. But for me, as long as we maybe do something in the January or next summer, I understand with the pandemic. If it is that budget, I'm not saying it is, but let's say it is, even if we don't spend that, I'd rather still have the club alive than overspend and then see the club crippled.
I like Leeds did all those years ago.
The thing is as well with the takeover as well. If you talk about the budget, what I'm trying to say is I'm just trying to not think about the takeover. I'm just trying to think of if the club in general we've still got a club to support. I think we've got to be careful on how much we demand as we come back into the season. Even if we have to keep this side until January, then albeit that's fine, and as long as we spend. But what we'll do is we'll wait and see what happens in the next few weeks because a lot can change.
Yeah. Anyway, let's comment
here. I'm just what comments Andrew NUFC said he'd keep Gale and sign Wilson. Thing is, I think I'd move Gale on. I just don't think his goals that he scored has just been enough so far. But I would definitely have Callum Wilson.
He's been a great servant.
Yeah, I swap Gale for Wilson, but I think it will be the more likely to be sold. I think Muto will go.
Yeah.
As I commented on Charlie's video earlier.
How much would you rate Callum Wilson as in price-wise? Would you say
20 million, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, probably, but it'd probably maybe 30 million at least if it wasn't for the injuries.
I would go about if they want to do a battle, I would say if they say 20 million, but that's not enough, 25 million. And if they're saying more than that, nah, leave it.
Aye.
Lehman US says, I want to clear out, but it won't happen under Ashley. I think we'll clear some of the deadwood out at least. I know
we'll have to because you look at the current strike force and you think, well, what was it, 5-6 goals combined? Last season, Rondon and Perez scored 24 combined, so there's the difference. Yeah, none of them. Nobody this season just got double figures. That's bad.
Yeah, I think Abdu and Yedlin, they've got a year left on the contract. We can get them out because these are 2 players I want sold. I think it's players like Servette and Lazar who we've had for a long time because we're getting stupid contracts that we're going to have to wait until those contracts run out in a year's time or release them in January, like with Keith and Young, before get rid of them. Unfortunately for us, those are kind of like big mistakes made years ago that we just cannot undo.
The thing is as well, Bentaleb says he wants 80 grand a week. Don't make me laugh. Leave.
I wouldn't take that. Nah.
All right, that is most. If we give him that, and I can't see us doing it anyway, then that's more stupid than Servette and Lazar because we've seen Bentaleb prove that he's not good enough. But I don't think we'll sign him, and I can't see us giving him 80 grand a week.
I'd maybe bring Lazaro back in. I thought he was pretty decent.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me before the lockdown, if you'd said to me, Sharky, do you want Lazaro for next season? I would have said no. But after the lockdown, I think he's been quite good. I think the only disappointment is that I think Steve Bruce should have used him a lot more in the last 9 games. Why was he just sat on the bench most of the time? Like, we're crippled with injuries. Lads are tired. He wants a game. I think to make more sense of it, just say that Inter Milan can have him on loan again for next season, but give him a full season this time. Maybe give him a bit more of a freer run in the side, but
Yeah.
it is all ifs and buts.
I mean, he's happened to play Atsu earlier in the season when ASM's not, because ASM was supposedly like not fit. But why can't he just do the same with Lazaro?
Exactly.
Somebody else we should mention as well. If we don't loan him out, Jacob Murphy as well. Him with Lazaro. Or
I wouldn't mind him actually. I wouldn't mind him in the squad. 4-2-3-1, I say suits him more than 5-4-1.
I don't know if any of us have spoken about Jacob Murphy, but I'd love to keep that lad back for next season. I think he needs to get back in the side. I'm sorry to say, but if you're going to pay 12 million quid from, yes, I know that's pennies to some sides, but for us, that's quite a lot of money given how much we spend on players left, right, and centre and the budget. I still believe the lad's got talent. Yes, he's played in the Championship, and yes, you could say that's his level, but at the end of the day, it's his club. And I feel like under Rafa Benitez, he was rushed. Like, he's never played in a correct system. Bruce couldn't really give him a chance because it was to kind of smooth over the deal for that compensation from Sheffield Wednesday, isn't it? But next season, like, why not? Give him a chance.
I
just don't think he'd fit into like the 5-3-2 or the 5-4-1, but it's the 4-2-3-1 that for me he'll do well in. If
I would give him a chance, even if you give him like second half, or even if you start him in the first half. Just give the lad a chance. Like, at the end of the day, for Norwich rated him so highly, and you can understand why. He's got to Sheffield United and he's been doing bits there. Sorry, Sheffield Wednesday. It's just like, we don't pay £12 million for nothing.
Exactly, yeah. That's the thing.
Like, the thing is, if we let him go, what a waste of money that is. 12 million quid, what a waste.
Well, we wasted 40 million on Johnson. Look what's happened there.
I think we need to forget about the price tags and just let them perform.
Yeah, well, I suppose they can't help the price tags. That's the thing.
Well, but Jacob Murphy's a local lad as well, with Steve Bruce being local as well.
Yeah,
he's from your neck of the woods, Gateshead.
Yeah, so
let me have a look up because I think he's at the Orange Academy.
Murphy great, even at the start or mini on the bench. Come on as a substitute. I think keep Murphy in and sell out. We've got a backup winger.
He's actually from down south, but he's got family from Burtley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just some more comments we'll go through. He said, I think we should buy Nathan Aki and Josh King. Josh King, yes, but I think Nathan Aki's off to Man City, I think, from what I've heard.
I'm amazed at that transfer. Absolutely amazed.
I think they need a centre-back, but he's not the answer.
Jonathan Young says, Dwight Gill has done well this season, 849 minutes, 9 out of 10 games, and 4 goals scored and 2 assists. It's Bruce's obsession with Joe Litton. That's the reason for our lack of attacking as well. Well, possibly.
That's pretty good stuff.
I think Johnson appeared in every game in the Premier League this season, even as a sub or starter. I think he still played in every game.
Yeah.
He scored 2. How many did Johnson assist this season, do you know?
I think 2 assists in the league. I think one goes at West Ham and Matty's goal at Old Trafford.
There you go, yeah. So he needs big improvement for next season. If not, we'll probably get loans, no doubt, and we can go for somebody else.
Aye.
He needs to improve a lot. In the first half of next season, he needs to really improve.
Your choice of football says, your dose of football in highlights says, I also think Oxford coming back was a disappointment.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
2-0 down to 2-2 against bloody Oxford United.
Aye.
Easy.
And that was in the final, 5 minutes as well?
Aye. Yeah. I think they were 2 good goals, but I think for Holland, somebody could, but I feel like Darlow could have done more for it. But then again, we also should have taken our chances before that.
Liam Anywhere says, we did take Man City seriously like something was against Arsenal. No, I didn't take that quarter-final seriously at all. We got 5 at the back, invite the pressure, and look what happens.
Aye. The thing is, even if we win a relegation battle, that's not going to affect the back goal difference badly like it would in the league. Because obviously I'm referring to when Rafa played 5 at the back against them.
I think Man City 81% possession as well, so what could we do?
Yeah.
Liam says, I'm going now. Good night, Ron. Yeah, no problem. Take care, man. Hope to see you again soon when I do another live stream. Liam UFC, Premier League clubs got the TV money, unlike League One and League Two club. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
I think if Nomad, we could get about 127 million, but that's gone majority of it.
I think the TV money is more about. I think clubs will use that to kind of like what Premier League Championship clubs will survive on TV money, whereas lower leagues will they're relying on gate attendances, and that's why you're seeing crowdfunders by non-league clubs.
One thing I think we should quickly mention is what are your thoughts on the Championship playoffs so far?
It's interesting. I think Brentford have still got maybe another chance if they can do it at home.
I predicted Swansea to win the first game by 1 goal, but I predicted Brentford to win 2-0 in the second leg. Fulham, I definitely think we'll go through to play them. But Brentford to play them in the final. I kind of want them to get to the final, then lose, just because I've got a stat I could bring out. But it's not going to
Liam NUSC says Bentaleb is another callback.
Yeah. But the thing is, Colback had rapid coaching and he still couldn't do anything.
Ryan Sweeney says, only positive this season. It is over. Well,
yeah.
It is over.
Yeah, but I think I'm glad it's over, but it's not like it's the worst season we've ever had.
No, the worst season by far was 08-09.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go for Max Aaron.
Lehman USA said, I would go for Max Aarons, but looks like he's going to Bayern Munich. Is he? Don't think I've heard.
I'm sure there was something, but we'll see what happens on that one. But I think I'd like a few fullbacks, cover Dummett, and also a replacement for Yedlin.
Yeah. I'd like to see Jethro Williams come back in and give the lad another chance.
That'd be good, but ideally, I'd like 2 left backs who aren't injury prone, just because we've seen what's happened to Paul Dummett.
Looking at the 3 sides that have gone down, is anybody you would go for? Anybody from the Championship you've got eyes on at all?
Yeah. I think for the midfield, Cantwell will be all right, but I'm still happy with Shelby and Hayden in the midfield.
I'm a big fan of Tom Kenny, to be fair. I think he's a brilliant midfielder, quality. He's someone who we were linked with 2-3 seasons ago. I would definitely look to get him. Oh, he's brilliant. Fantastic.
You mean Tom Kenny from Fulham?
Yeah, yes. Tom, you said someone from the Championship, so I think, whatever happened to them, I would definitely get him.
And I would like this player, and you said you were chalky Ezzy from Queen's Park Rangers.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely, for me, a future number 9. He really is. The lad's got pace. He's got a good knowledge of the game. He reads play very well. And Ferdinand come out and said, I think, on Newcastle Fans TV, if the right offer comes in, you go and buy him. Now, if we've got a 35 million budget, sounds sorry to say, but if we only buy one player, I'll go all out for him. For me, get rid of Dwight Gale. Either Muto or Gale, whichever one we'll get rid of, go all out for Eze and have no regrets.
I'd say get rid of them both and then go for a main striker, because
even if Joe Linton loses the number 9 shirt and we don't give it to Eze, if we rest it doesn't matter. For me, we need a striker. I'm not expecting him to be a world beater if he signs, but I want somebody who's young, who's got a bit of knowledge of the game. Not Joe Linton, who just, when you see him, he's lurking around the midfield area, and then by the time we get up the pitch, where is he?
I think we mentioned in a previous stream as well about how players from the Championship come up and they make such an impact in the Premier League. Say if we sign from a Championship club and then all of a sudden they do great, like Chris Woods, when he signed for Burnley, he's been great.
Play for Leeds.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is though, right? That tells me how strong that the Championship is when Premier League clubs are looking down at Championship clubs to think, actually, these players are actually not too bad. You could say it's down to some of the money in the Championship, because the Championship, they actually concluded their season. So there's obviously money in the Championship. People sort of downgrade it. But you look at League 1, League 2, there's nothing there. But there's definitely talent in the Championship. And some of them, you think, they could actually make that step up to the Premier League. And even some of the bigger clubs, in the top 6 are even looking at Championship players. Like Daniel James, was it James who left Swansea to go to Man United? There you go. That's just an example of what can happen.
Yeah, I feel like with the Championship, it's kind of like the Eredivisie and the Scottish Premiership pair. How you can get some players who turn out to be good, like James Maddison, but then you'll get some players like what
Do you remember Leon Best? Who used to play for Coventry?
Who?
Do you remember Leon Best? There you go. Like he was like playing for a bang average Coventry side in the same league, 2009-10. Look how good he was. Look how good he turned out to be in the Pardew era in like the Europa League. Do you know what I mean? Like how much of a good player like a bang average Coventry City player, like who was bottom end of the league. Look how good he was.
He only got 10 goals in 2.5 years though. But I did see I think I saw like 6 of them. Like
not bad though. Like from Coventry though. Like for a side that were getting relegated, not bad.
Including a hat trick as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was there.
5-0 against West Ham.
Aye.
But that's what I'm saying, like about the championship. If that's our budget, and obviously Peter was talking about Eze, like for an example of a championship player, it doesn't matter whether it's Eze or even somebody from like a Cardiff City, whatever. If that's all we've got, then we've got to look at the championship. But then again, I look at the championship now and think, do you know what? There's a good opportunity to build a player up, to get them good and maybe give them that chance later on down the line. You know, maybe settle them in, give them second half and then build their confidence, not just hoy them in and just dent their confidence. You look at someone like Joe Linton, I've always said, next season, you give him until January. If he's still the same, you send him out on loan. It sounds brutal, but that's what you got to do. We can't keep going round in circles talking about the same thing over and over and over again, that he's not scoring goals.
Exactly.
I'm just going to read out just some more comments. Lehman UFC at the Sutton v Arsenal, what embarrassed Sutton or in the National League. Oh yeah, that was also the pie incident game. That was funny. That.
I think he's mentioned about what Sutton having more goal to Arsenal than what we did against Man City.
Jonathan Ying says, how much would the QPR striker be? I would say around about the 12 million mark, easy.
How much?
Eze.
20 million.
20 million, I would say around about.
That is quite
That's what they'll want.
Yeah.
Very similar to Callum Wilson. I'll go 25 million at a push, a QPR, and say, right, 25 million, take it or leave it. What do you want to do? And then if they say more, say, nah, sorry, but we'll see later on down the line.
Crystal Palace apparently linked with Eze. Hopefully not, because I would definitely like to have the hat in there for even Rio Les Ferdinand said to Lee, pay the money if you want him. That is the thing.
The thing is, it's whether or not the board are going to do so. You know how tight we are as a board. It always goes down to the final penny, doesn't it?
What was I going to say? I think I wouldn't be too upset if we missed out on Eze, because I'd
cry. I'd get my tissues out. I would cry, because it's like, how many more strikers do we need to miss out on? Jarrod Bowen was another one.
I
wouldn't really cry. I'm being over the top, but I'm just saying we need to start getting strikers in, because we can't keep persisting with the same old strikers that aren't doing anything. Mutu's obviously got no future, unfortunately, for the lad. He'll go on and do good stuff elsewhere. Gale, don't get me wrong, you've been a great servant. You were a great number 9 in the Championship, but unfortunately injuries have taken over. Single figures in a season isn't good enough. You need replaced. You'll do well in the Championship, but for me, you look at the bigger picture, Joe Linton, single figures. He's not really a striker. He's a left winger. Andy Carroll, he's past it, but he'll do well in maybe the second half in games. But all in all, how many strikers do we have? Well, none really, because one can't score, and one's not a natural striker. One's off. Gale's probably off, and that's it. Like we need strikers. For me, that's the only way we're going to move forward as a football club. Because if we go again next season with the same format, then it might not be as easy. Like Leeds United coming up, West Brom. All they've got to do is strengthen, and we're in deep, deep trouble.
I'm sure last summer as well. I'm pretty sure we were linked with Danny Ings. So
I'll take him. I'll bring him in now.
We would have got him on last summer. We would have got him on a free transfer, and he's been.
Last summer, because Southampton had the option to buy him when they took it. Maybe the summer before that, before he went on loan, or I think we were linked with him when Burnley went down, and he was.
I wouldn't mind Divock Origi from Liverpool, even if we got him on loan.
I would have him for sure, definitely. I'm surprised he doesn't get more of a chance at Liverpool.
I wouldn't mind. Honestly, I wouldn't mind Divock Origi.
I
wouldn't mind. Do you know who I wouldn't mind? Iheanacho as well.
Yeah.
We just need somebody with a bit of experience who's actually got pace, who's going to put the ball in the back of the net. Like, we're not demanding it to get 20 goals a season, but we're demanding at least 12 to 15 goals a season.
Yeah.
Just going to read some more comments. Lehman UFC, the Championship and the Premier League isn't a massive gap. Don't care what anyone says. Just look at Stoke, Middlesbrough, and even Huddersfield. They've gone to slope a bit for sure.
That is a good point. Even Bournemouth spending so long in the top flight.
But the thing is, you look at that and you think that's the Championship in a nutshell. Like, it's all competitive now. You just don't know who is going to get promoted. You don't know who's going to get relegated. All the clubs that drop out of the Premier League, you instantly think that they're going to do well, but then they're battling down at the bottom, like Huddersfield for long periods. Hull eventually have gone down into League One. That was sad for them. But it just tells me that the Championship is so competitive, it's ruthless.
Aye, very unforgiving, but I kind of feel
the thing is, getting relegated from the Championship can happen to anybody. Like Sunderland, they fell straight through. Not laughing at them in any way. What I'm saying is, if you're not prepared after being relegated from the Premier League, it doesn't matter if you're a Newcastle, a Man City, a Liverpool. If you get relegated, if you're not prepared for it, we've been lucky on 2 occasions we've jumped straight back up. But if you don't get back up first time, if you drop out first time from the Championship, it's going to mess up you financially. Look what it's done to Sunderland. But then again, you've got to try and find that balance when you get relegated, and we've done quite well in that sense. But what I'm saying is, if you get relegated to the Championship, there's no guarantees that you're going to come back up. You could even fall through.
That's the thing, Well, Liam says the Championship was a poor league when we got promoted. Oh, it's very competitive now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, next comment.
Well, the thing is, Peter, before you talk, Archer, under Rafa Benitez, we only just got promoted on the last day. We only just got automatic promotion against Preston in April. But that just goes to tell me the money in the Championship and how competitive it is. Like, each club, we were their cup final. And when you've got that on your back, you've got an extra performance. I think, do you know what it is? If we were to get relegated again, fingers crossed that never happens, I do expect a tight Championship because we are going to be their cup final. And we've got to live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it looks like Archer is ready to join. I'll put the link in for you, Archer. So hopefully, if you're still here, you can join very well.
Or
this fight, you get 5 in here.
All right.
That's up to Peter. It's his stream, I suppose.
Jonathan Young says, well, if I don't mind who drops out for sure. I said Jonathan Young said he'd sell low Joe Linton. He isn't a striker, and he just doesn't get into the team as a winger. Just move on. Well, yeah, when he sold out.
Can I be honest with you about Joe Linton? I'm not expecting much next season. I really, I'm not. No. I'm not.
Well, then who's going to drop out? Because Archer is ready to come in.
I'll drop out. I was on.
Right, no problem. Thank you very much, Lawrence, for coming in.
Thanks, Lawrence. Good to speak to you, man. All the best.
All right.
Take care, man.
Well, let's get him in. You know who. It's been a while since he's been.
Hello. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, I'm fine.
Well, I'll just read a few more comments, Archer, before I get your thoughts on how the season has gone. Andrew in UFC, Joe Linton just doesn't get into our best starting 11. That is the problem. Liam in UFC, Carroll should go to the MLS or the Australian League like Stephen Taylor did when he went to New Zealand to play for Wellington. I know like a lot of the older players will go and finish their career in either the MLS or that league for sure. Jonathan Young, Gale has played 10 games this season and scored 4 goals and 2 assists. It's Bruce's poor team selection, the reason why he hasn't played more. But Gale has had injuries. That is another thing why he probably hasn't played more as well. That is for sure, which you've just took on there, Shoggy. That is for sure. So,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why we've got to shift him on. Yes, don't get me wrong. He scored some crucial goals towards the end of the season, but you've got to look at the bigger picture. Injuries have taken over. And I think now he's been here, how long? 3 years? Newcastle? That's enough for me to say, right, we need to get a new striker in. You know what? Great lad, on and off the pitch. But sometimes, enough's enough. Move on.
I might try Gale once.
Yeah. Oh, you did. I think you did. Liam in UFC, Hull was more to do with poor owners. That's what Sunderland. Ellis Short just gave them the club. That's why Sunderland went out. Oh, the Hull City owners, my word.
They're both the same. They're both the same. They're both poorly run clubs because the owners are in it for, the dollar. I think Hull could get back up from League One. I would favour Hull next season to get back out of League One than Sunderland. Let's be honest.
Isn't it next few days we'll find out what happens with Wigan as well?
Exactly. I think Wigan and Hull will come straight back up if they get it right on Portsmouth.
So
by the way, League One, look at the clubs down in League One as well for next season.
Wigan, So Wigan's appeal is on.
Let this fixture sink in next season in the Championship. Bournemouth versus Wickham is actually a Championship fixture. There you go. Sorry. And Watford versus Wickham is actually a fixture. But then again, we can laugh. But look at Burton. Burton and Newcastle was actually a fixture.
Well, Liam and US, if we go down again, we won't come straight back up as we won't have the manager to do it. And the championship is getting tougher and tougher. If it did, it would be very competitive. That is for sure. Well, Archer, again, so you're in the stream, so welcome.
Thank
How
you.
do you think the season's gone? 13th place finish, first season under Steve Bruce. How would you say it went?
I would just say average.
I think everybody said that all night, to be fair.
Just average. It's just been typical Newcastle through the season since the start. But
To be ultra predictable.
predictable. It's just been average. It's always been average with Newcastle every season because we're always finishing near bottom half of the table, but we've never been the top 10 since Vafa got promoted first attempt. That was the only time. But obviously this season, like I said, it's just been average yet again. Players
Same again
coming
next season, Archer. Same again next season.
Same again. I'm not.
The grind's real.
I think next season, if we don't pull our finger out by next season, by signing by bringing in new players, I'm sorry, but I can literally see Newcastle possibly finishing 17th at least.
That's kind. You've kept up. That's
17th at least. It's just because if Mike Ashley's still here as owner and Steve Bruce is still the gaffer, then it's just going to be the same old.
Well,
But,
the thing you say that they've just hired Peter Ramagin for the under-23s to try and bring some of them through. So I wonder behind that if that's a way of maybe bringing the youngsters through, so we don't have to spend as much. But then again, we'll look to get our local lads in. But I don't know. I mean, obviously Matty's off, isn't he? Matty Longstaff's leaving there now. He's free to sign for who he likes.
I reckon that's good for Peter Ramage to be assistant head coach for the under 23 because he's been there and done it.
Makes sense, I think.
And obviously he's going to give the youngins a chance and see what they can do.
Have you spoken about Matty in this stream, by the way?
I think I did. I personally said he's gone.
What do you two think? I don't see him staying now. I think his future's gone.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think Matty is definitely going to go. I don't want to really. I hate saying it that if Matty does go, because the kid is a local talent. He's from Newcastle. I would rather play Matty Longstaff over Bentaleb. Bentaleb can go straight back to Germany because he is absolutely a waste of time, and he's just so lazy. And
he wants 80k if we sign him permanently as well.
If we sign Bentaleb on a permanent deal,
I wouldn't even say I would say not, no chance.
By the way, if we sign Bentaleb, I totally give up.
If we sign Bentaleb, it's like the club's going back, the club's just going backwards.
Well, might as well get Ramage in the side. That's how desperate it's getting, isn't it? Yeah, Peter, do you fancy signing?
Well, Archer, what would you see the highlights of the season have been so far?
Highlights of the season. Been alright since I've been to a few games.
Yeah.
Season's just gone. Obviously I went to the Brighton game. Highlight for me would have been Man United at home, and Matty Longstaff scored the winner. And obviously I've been away doing to Leicester as well. So yeah.
Oh, sorry for you, doing there, Archer.
But but it's a repeat because it was an experience going
Oh
down.
yeah, it would have been for sure.
Good. It's a
Yeah,
good
I'm not
stadium, the
even
King Power, to be fair. They're
Um,
obviously rocking down there at the minute. Other things are looking up for them.
I wouldn't mind going back again, but I would definitely go to different stadiums for the new season ahead.
I certainly wouldn't mind going to Ellen Road, like all of us together. It's not far.
That'll be a tough one to get to. The amount of season ticket holders will want to go there. That'll be tough.
Yeah, but
Two season ticket holders.
Disappointment of the season, Archer.
I
I know you touched one of them on. Any more you can think of?
obviously I did mention last star, so obviously that was a bit of disappointment getting beat 5-0.
It's like playing your worst mate off FIFA, isn't it? They weren't good enough.
Transfers as well. This season has just been really.
The only really good signing we got all season was St. Maximin.
Yeah, St. Maximin was the best signing we signed in the summer. Joel Linton, I don't know how on earth we spent 40 million on a Brazilian who was the double fit, who was the spitting image of Emmanuel Riviere, who can't even score for goals. I would rather have Hostelou back because Hostelou knows where the net. Riviere can't even score. Joe Linton is just so lazy. But yeah, I just can't believe we spent 40 million on a Brazilian. But obviously, I'll give him a chance by January. See how he does. If not, then I would possibly maybe loan him out. But obviously, I reckon Newcastle need at least to sign possibly 2 to 3 strikers this coming season because yes, Muto could be leaving. I'm sorry to say, but obviously, I think it's just wrong that the club signed. What is he, Japanese or South Korea?
Just Mudo.
Muto,
Japanese.
I feel sorry for Muto because he's only made one appearance this season. That was in the cup against Leicester, and I think he only scored 1 goal. I'm not too sure, but for a club of Newcastle signing a striker who was roughly around about 9 million or something, and having him on the bench and not giving him any game time is just absolutely wrong.
Yeah,
I would rather have Muto playing up front rather than Joe Linton because Joe Linton doesn't really do much. If Joe Linton plays on the left-hand side, then that's a different kettle of fish because when he was at Hoffenheim, he was playing on the left wing. But since we got Joe Linton, we're playing them up front as the number 9 just to score goals, and he can't even do that.
I don't think he's either, if I'm honest. I don't think he's a striker, and I don't think he's a number 9. That's my personal opinion. But I think next season, you see him against Bournemouth in the 4-3-3, and it worked because he can play that left wing, right wing position. I don't want to criticise the lad, but when you're only scoring 2 goals over a season for a number 9, that is shocking. That's bad.
I know.
Shocking.
It is. But obviously, who else did we get in the window? We got Kraft.
I thought he played all right towards the end of the season, to be fair. If you'd asked us before lockdown, is he any good? I would have said no, but I think all in all, I think he needs a bit more time for next season. I do think he's learning.
I wasn't too sure on Kraft, but obviously since he's done really well by playing behind closed doors.
I think since the West Ham game is definitely when Kraft clicked.
Yeah.
The squad. That was his best performance for me. Like, I think he got the assist for Almiron, and I think he set up the goal before Shelby.
The thing is, as well, in the formation as well, the 5 at the back, he was struggling because he wasn't used to playing 5 at the back, and then since we've been playing the 4-2-3-1 formation, players have actually stepped up. We're looking more of a threat, and then even Kraft's become a different player. Do you know what I mean? All of them have stepped up, but then when obviously we got safe, they all went back in their shells again. But when it really matters, they do step up. But I think Kraft got some harsh criticisms, I would say, at the start of the season. I wanted to sort of lay off him a little bit because I knew he wasn't going to be a part player. That's all he was going to be. But I'd say next season, for me, that's where he has to really kick on.
The player that's really impressed me this season has got to be Alan St-Maximin, totally. Since
he's actually a threat.
I know, since he's came, he has done everything, doing on that wing, passing the ball, flicks, the lot. That's what we need. It's like watching another Hutton Ben Arthur when Ben Arthur came to the club.
Well, look what he did at Bournemouth when he took out like 3 or 4 players out of the defence and he was good. He set up Matty Longstaff.
I know, but I reckon next season we need at least two, maybe 2 or 3 strikers, because Gale could be on his way, possibly to a championship club. Muto as well. Atsu has definitely got to go. He may have the pace, but he cannot cross the ball. He is just absolutely diabolical.
Absolutely, for sure.
Tell you who's been much improved this season. Miggy.
Yes, Almiron's done really well this season.
I'm impressed with Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez has been a bog at me. When you look back at the deal against Swansea, you think, well, he's just going to be a part player, isn't he? He might come on for 5-10 minutes, but to be fair, he's been a mainstay on the side and he's been Mr. Reliable. I think he's been great this season.
And didn't he score the winner? I think it was Southampton back in December. He got the late winner.
Yes,
he did.
And what was I going to say?
That was the start of Southampton's revival. To be fair,
after the 9-0,
yeah, for sure. Hi. I'll tell you what, we'll just go read to some more comments. Lehman UFC thinks Hull will struggle next season.
Nah, I think if they keep the manager, they might struggle, but I think they've got a squad there capable enough of getting back up.
Owners have got to pull their finger out for sure.
Either way, if you look at their side, they've got some experienced players in there that can get them out of League One. It's going to be tough for them, but I think they've got enough in there to do it. To bounce back.
Lehman UFC.
They have to, by the way.
Hull will do a Blackpool. We'll wait and see again. It's all down to the ownership. Next question I'm going to bring up, but I'm going to ask you, what do you think it could be? The next question that I'm going to show.
I don't even know.
Here it is. Which I get.
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
let's be honest with you, right? As much as I want it to happen, I don't think it will happen. That's my personal opinion. It's been going on for too long now, and it's just people are getting, frustrated and angry, and whatever opinion somebody has of the club, you're right, you're wrong, you're definitely wrong. For me, it's a case of just it's business as normal until something happens. Nobody has a clue what's going on in the background, and if someone thinks a takeover is going to happen, I respect their opinion, but in my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah. And Lehman UFC.
Really on or off the pitch, really.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lehman UFC thinks Longstaff will either go to Italy or Watford. He'll definitely go to one of them if he does not stay at this football club. Jonathan Young says David and Lee Waller always post the same comment on each NUFC video.
Well, you say that next season Newcastle Blue Star are going places, so we might see Matty there. Nah, I'm only joking. But honestly, I think he's got the talent, the lad. I mean, he could definitely get back into the Premier League. I think he's going to make it to the top, but where he goes, I don't know.
Andrew in UFC says he'd rather sign Harris Fukic and Bedlam. Oh, anyone remember Harris Fukic? What did you think of him?
He went to Wigan, didn't he?
I liked him, actually.
Is he still playing in the UK or is he abroad now?
Has he retired yet?
No, he's playing for FC20.
FC20 playing for now.
Does he? Hold on. He's finished now at FC20. He's still only 27 years old.
Well, I'm hoping that Bentaleb goes back to Schalke because he's useless.
Oh.
Makes it laugh, doesn't it, when they let Matty Longstaff leave, but yet they're keeping Bentaleb. And Bruce is doing everything to keep a hold of the loanies.
Lehman UFC. Away days I want to do from the new owners. Wolves, Chelsea, Spurs, Sheffield United, Arsenal, Southampton, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Brighton and West Brom. I wouldn't mind going to Spurs new ground.
Sorry, Pete, I was just going to say I'll go the away days regardless.
Oh, yeah, same. Spurs new ground, I'd definitely love to go and visit there. Arsenal, I've actually been to the Emirates once in 2006. It was a really nice ground.
It's a library, isn't it?
Wolves,
full of books. It's a library, isn't it? The Emirates nowadays full of books.
Well, Chelsea, you say Stamford Bridge is like a library there.
Yeah, mate, I've been there about 3 times. And honestly, you forget there's even fans in the stadium unless we've scored. That's the only atmosphere here at Chelsea. Oh, well, actually, I let them off the tannoy that they've actually scored a goal. Wow. But honestly, right, it's like being in a library, going to Stamford Bridge, you hear nothing. And no wonder they get fed on a silver spoon then, like, honestly. They don't understand what passion is.
Yeah.
They've been so used to it.
Sheffield United, I've actually done that. Was in pretty ground. Southampton, I wouldn't mind going to some of the clubs that are down south for sure.
I said I was going to go this season, but everything got cancelled.
Yes, that was the thing, unfortunately.
I was scheduled to go to Brighton, but for some reason that got cancelled. But the pandemic, I got stopped. So, unfortunately, I couldn't go.
Oh, actually, I've gone back to that because I haven't asked the rest of you. So I did ask Jay when he was in the live stream. How did you feel that the remaining games had to take place behind closed doors because of the pandemic? How did you feel that you weren't being able to go for sure?
Well, it wasn't the same. Well, no, it wasn't the same. But we had to get on with it. We had to get the season done regardless. Yes, we knew we were safe. But then either way, the lads still had to turn up. You try and get some results. But we know that it's not the same without the fans. We want to get back at the stadiums as fast as possible. But for me, it was 9 games to go. They're playing them back to back to back. Just get the season done.
Yeah, that was the thing. Unfortunately,
by the way, it was never going to be a pretty watch. But for me, just get the games done.
I said at first they should have cancelled the remaining of the season, but
I knew they wouldn't. There's too much money. It's the Premier League. They would never cancel a season. It's the Premier League.
Yeah.
This is well.
The thing is, football, the Premier League never takes place in like June or July for sure, and that happened this time. It was very unusual. Jonathan Young says Chelsea has all the posh folks in it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, in the away end, when they scored, they don't even make that much noise. They're just like, it's like what? Like you've got bloody Hazard in your side. You've got all these other good players. Yeah, where like snitching around for like 8 million rated players. You just get fed on a silver spoon and you score worldly goals, and that's all you do. I'd be bouncing around if I score if you score worldies from like the halfway. I'd be bouncing around. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Well, I've never been to Stamford Bridge before, but
standards, double standards. That's all I'm going to say about them.
Well, I probably would make me go just to take it off the list and see. I've been. It's a bit of an experience.
By the way, it's a nice ground. It's just a shame about the fan base.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Archer?
I was going to say Mike Ashley can bounce on the trampoline if he wants to splash the cash.
Be a miracle if Mike Ashley spends money. Be an absolute miracle.
Oh, for sure.
Just did you know the wave of a wand? Let Mike Ashley come on, get something done, please.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, apparently tomorrow Steve Bruce is having a Zoom call with Steve Bruce about the future going forward. I mean, that's if we've got a future on Zoom. I don't think it'll be about the club. It'll just be like, there you go, Brucey. There's there for next season. There you go. Business as usual.
Yeah. Liam in UFC, the atmosphere at St James's Park is now dead because of Ashley. Well, it's definitely not being as what it has been this season for sure, but fans still will get behind the team and chant.
Well, the singing section got moved though, didn't it? So obviously that takes away the atmosphere. The Gallagher flags as well, they were gone at the start of the season, so you're losing atmosphere straight away. Under Rafa Benitez going to St James's Park, it was like a cauldron with the flags, the fans getting behind the side. And the minute you rip all of that up, we're an easy touch.
Yeah. Also, Liam in UFC, it would be electric if takeover happens, or definitely would, but as I say, I think it's just going to be the same for next season.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. I've been there before with it all. Sorry.
Yeah, that is the thing. Well, I don't think I've got any more questions that have come in so far for sure, so we'll wait a bit. But what do you say for all of you? What needs to change for next season for sure?
The attack, the way we attack, really.
Yeah.
For me, Go on, Dan.
So say like the way we have attacked this season, like Johnson 2 goals. When our top scorer in the league was for both was midfielders with Shelby in the league and Amber on all competitions. So yeah, the way we attack and the way we take chances as well, that really needs to change, because if it doesn't, then we'll be in deep shit next season.
Bruce tactically needs to get it spot on as well. He needs to stop going 5 at the back against sides and just go for it more. Be more, aware of what's going on around you. If you need to change things during the game, do it a lot earlier rather than later on. He didn't make use of the 5 substitutions either. He only done it on the final game or the final couple of games. I think he needs to stick with the formation that's working, the 4-2-3-1, which was getting him results. I think he needs to get the best out of the attack as well. I just think all in all, the players' attitudes have to change as well. Like, they need to start taking games seriously. And if we don't look like winning games, don't be obvious and just like throwing the towel to the fact we're conceding 5-6 goals. Just be professional. Like, even towards the end of the season, after Bournemouth, you're thinking there's a chance of top 10. They blew it. They just thought, well, we're safe. Can't wait for the beach. Can't wait to go to Barbados. There you go. Like that. That's the attitude of our side. That's why I get bored of watching them.
Well, Lejeune, Almiron have both went on the holiday on the same flight.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're better players. Their attitudes have gone because they're more focused on the holidays. They don't want to get injured. That's the parcel of football today. Like, players are scared to get injured because of the money situation, whatever in the background. But for me, I think next season the attitude needs to improve. I think the manager, yes, he kept it up, but hopefully he's going to learn from this season. Because I tell you what, if I was Bruce, I would have learned a heck of a lot from what happened at the start of the season, what could have went wrong if he continued in that fashion.
Aye, definitely. Well, Jonathan Young says, Ashley is desperate to sell the club. His full focus is on the high street. It has been for the last 2-3 years, and now more than ever. The only thing is he's getting rich again.
The thing is, I've been hearing this for the past 13 years. Oh, he wants to sell, he wants to sell, he wants to sell. He's still here. There's no reason for him to budge. He's making too much money. That's the thing, Sports Direct, it's always busy. Not just the Newcastle one. People say, oh, well, you should boycott your shops. Yes, I get that. If there was a store closed in Newcastle tonight, look at all the other stores down Liverpool, London, all the other major cities. They're still spending.
That's the thing.
That's the problem, mate. He's rich because he's got other businesses.
Yeah.
When that get either way.
Joseph Footballer Highlight says he doesn't rate Almiron. I think we should get a new midfielder. I think we need to build. I think we need
around him.
Better players around him, that is for sure, rather than bang average ones who are just.
Tom Kenny for me would fit the bill. Perfect.
Remember your last stream, Sharky, where you had Quinny just rattling on. He thinks, I wish we should just stop signing these bang average crap players and stuff like that.
Well, then again, I mean, he's got a point, but for me, if you're going to build around Almiron, I think Tom Kenny's your ideal one. If we're not going to have a high budget, so go for him then. Do something that's going to make it better.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, look at the Championship. There's plenty of players down there who are hungry to be in the Premier League, so sign them in.
The thing is, do I really want to go and shop in the Championship? Well, yes and no, but then at the same time, we don't have control over our budget. You can only work with what you've got.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, do I want to go to Serie A and Liga B? Do I want to go all these big leagues? Of course we do. But when you've only got Mike Ashley money, unfortunately, you've got to go to the Championship. You've got to try and then we've got to try and rely on the under-23s to be good enough to come through. But then again, I say that as soon as my local talent get good, they're out the door. So, oh man, honestly.
Liam NUFC, we won't build a team around the likes of Samak Mallory under this regime. I will probably end up buying more bang average crap again, if it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, I suppose we'll have to wait and see for next season, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not hopeful for any progression. I expect the same again, mid-table to bottom end. That's what it is.
Yeah. Andrew NUFC spot on Liam NUFC, and Liam NUFC asking Ashley to build a team is like Aston Villa to win the Champions League. Yeah, friggin' hell, man. Definitely.
But that's the problem. We can't bridge that gap. We can't. Look where we finished, right? We finished 10 points above the relegation zone, and we finished 10 points behind the team in 10th, which were Burnley. So we're stuck in mid-table.
Yeah, that is the thing.
It's not like Villa win the Champions League. It's like Sunderland trying to get back up. I'd say that's what it is.
They'll probably get up faster than we do something. They'll probably get back up quicker.
Jonathan Young, Ashley will be gone very soon. Well, hopefully, but I can
I've
see
heard that. I've heard that one before as well. Like Ashley be gone very soon. I think I've heard that for the past decade, and he's still here.
So that is the thing, yeah, for sure. Your dose of football highlight says we're going to be like Inter Milan buying all the dead championship players, law. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's some championship players in that current championship that are better than what we've got. So that says a lot.
And I like Callum Wilson for a start.
I'd happy do some swap deals with some championship clubs for what we've got. Gale out, Mudu gone. There's just a few just rattled off. Atsu gone. You can be replaced. And I'm talking about players in the championship that can replace some of our players that we've got.
Well, Jacob Murphy coming back in, we spoke about him, so...
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Jacob Murphy? Jacob Murphy feels like a free signing because he's probably better than what we've got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not really would.
Sivey, what's he doing? Oh yeah, he's taking a living for now. It's like, what's he doing?
I know.
Aaron's like, what's he about? What's he about? Nothing.
Liam and UFC Sports apparently Sunderland are supposed to be getting billionaire owners soon. Well, I've heard about that.
Just like the Newcastle one, I've heard that one before as well. Last week it was about an energy drinks consortium. No, it never happened in that.
Oh, I've heard about that one. Someone who owns like an energy drink bar. I've forgotten his name, but I heard about that.
I hope you've got enough energy drinks to give to the side if we want to get back into the championship because they might need it.
One thing I've just thought as well, if we were to bring Jacob Murphy back in, one player I would definitely go for the sign would be Josh Murphy from Cardiff because they're brothers.
He's probably better than what we've got.
So
Josh Murphy, yes.
Play together on the midfield or the wing, along with St. Maximan and Amnon in the middle. We've got Shelby in the middle as defensive wise with Hayden. So I think
we definitely need another midfielder. I say we need to replace maybe one of them, but we'll wait and see. I suppose we talk about all these different players that coming and going, but even the ones who we think aren't going to leave end up leaving. Just the ones you think are a mainstay. It happens, but I don't think we're going to have a massive clear up. But I know it needs to happen. But what I will say is, if we don't get a couple of strikers, then we are knackered. That's even just like trying to get mid-table. Otherwise, like Arthur said, we could be 16th or 17th, and that's being realistic.
Exactly.
Goals going to be no problem.
Yeah, like in UFC, the squad we got, we'd struggle in the championship if you take out St. Maximum. Well,
I don't think I'd have much hope for us to even get a top six without that side, without St. Maximin and Almira, and I think we'll be mid-table in the championship.
We've never had a takeover at such an advanced stage. It will happen. It may take a few more weeks, but it will happen. I've
heard advanced stage for the past 2-3 months, but now it's happened.
Do you know when the takeover will be confirmed? When the transfer window closes?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to be on the 5th of October.
So
what do you think of that then? Like October, I know the season starts on the 12th of September. Then obviously, do you think that's an advantage or a disadvantage to Newcastle, knowing that if Almiron starts pulling his weight and gets more goals, and St. Maximin does, they could still have a month to move clubs? Do you think it's got a big disadvantage, hasn't it?
Well, hopefully that won't happen. Anyways, I'll read the last question now, and I think I might wrap up the stream for the night for sure. I'll give you all of this one to answer. Do you think Newcastle are too far gone?
What does he mean by that?
Yeah, it's a good question. What do you mean by that? Just mind to see it a bit more.
Because when he says too far gone, that could be, we're too far gone. The fact we can never compete in the top 10, we're too far gone that we're going to get relegated next season. We're too far gone that it could be anything. The takeover, nobody knows. If he comes back, we can answer it.
The only reason why we didn't go down is because our bad teams around us was nothing to do with boost of the players we got. Well, there was a lot of worse teams done that, but you can only beat what is put in front of you.
Yeah, like for Norwich, it all went wrong for them. Pretty much like at the restart of the season. Bournemouth, they just weren't looking with results. Watford with results as well. They got kicked 8-0 with Man City at the start, 5-0 down in 20 minutes. So, and one big thing I think which caused Watford to get relegated was sacking Pearson with 2 games.
So I was just about to say that. That's shocking.
And
Liam says this was the worst season in the Premier League history, including the season Leicester won the league. I would say season got relegated with that for sure.
Well, Mohamed Clarendon, when you give him a job, you know for a fact it's going to go wrong.
Well, here he is. I think so. We'll read this out and then we'll wrap it up there for the night. In terms of winning titles, not under this corridor.
Oh, right. But no, we don't even look like winning the FA Cup, man. Never mind the Premier League title. I mean, we're so way off. The thing is, we're not even good enough to get into the top 10. But look at the table. It doesn't lie. Burnley, 10 points clear in 10th place. We stayed up by 10 points, so we're in the middle. We're stuck rotting in mid-table until we decide that Mike Ashley wants to pull his finger out his arse and wants to start signing better players that are going to push up the table. Otherwise, it's mid-table every season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But his finger must have covered a lot of shit then because it's still stuck with his arse after 10 years.
And also he meant the season itself. Well, because Liverpool were miles ahead, it was just not competitive at all. But that's what it is, fortunately, for the Premier League now. That is for sure. Anyway, okay then. Well, I think I'll wrap up the stream there for tonight for sure. So, yeah. So, well, thank you, lads, for coming in.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the great debate tonight, and I'm sure we'll speak to you again soon, Peter.
No problem, man. Well, thank you very much.
Cheers, lads. See you later.
Much later.
See you then.
Take care.
See you, Archer. See you then. Well, that is the stream done for the night. So, as always, thank you very much to those who tuned in, particularly in the live stream, and also the ones who just popped up in the live chat as well. I really appreciate of all that. Thanks very much. Well, we just got some comments just to say, look, well, that one. So, what also highlights this. Enjoyed the stream, lads. Keep it up. Yeah, well done, man. Thanks very much. And he says, just lads, football highlights. Says, bye, lads. Yeah, take care, man. Always. Andrew, NUFC, great live stream, Peter. Mate, keep the faith. Yeah, will do, man. See to you. So, yeah, there we go. That is it for tonight. So, again, it was absolutely great to bring a live stream back because I have missed doing it because these were majority of the film because of the lockdown issue and the football was off during that time. But again, it was great to have you back as always. So, of course. And then Jonathan Young says, thanks, Peter. No problem, man. Thank you very much for popping up in the live chat as usual. So, of course, thank you for watching. Of course, don't forget to give this live stream a like. Please comment if you want to as well. And of course, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't checked me out before. And until the next video, see you.